Hey, everybody! Yeah! It's my David Lee Roth impression because it's relevant. Welcome
That's
to...
where I thought you were going with it, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
David Lee Roth. Yeah.
Welcome to Enter Tired Men of Champions. We're sponsored by Beds today. Beds, do you miss your bed? Too bad you got a podcast. All right, so this episode...
Okay.
Right? All right. Exactly. See? We're all tired.
That wasn't even
feeling
fake.
It. Some Monday sesh, and we normally just kind of sleep through Monday nights. But,
I don't even believe Mondays are really real. I'm so disconnected with them. So for us to be doing something somewhat responsible is weird and abnormal.
This is like
First time my room has had lights on a Monday.
Yeah.
There's sun coming in through my. I'm not in any of this right now.
No, me neither. I'm not into it at all. This episode, the David Lee Roth impression was relevant because this episode we're talking about classic rock. And we are going to go through our top 10 favorite classic rock songs. And we kind of defined that. We ended up defining that by songs from like the 60s and 70s specifically. Like for me, any song that was like 1980 or newer, I guess you would say newer, 1980 and beyond, I pretty much didn't even consider for the list. Because eventually we're going to do 80s rock, and I want all that shit in there, basically. So, whatever. It's going to be a good episode. This was a really fucking hard list. We limited it to one song per musician, basically. Or band, or whatever you want to call them. And there were a lot of drugs in these decades, and that's really exciting. Really exciting time.
I would say that my list is 1,000% drug-fueled. Like every single fucking person, I think. So, yeah, just keep that in mind, I guess.
It's amazing. I'm so excited. All right. Oh, man. I love the way. All right. All right. Inside jokes from off mic. Okay. So, oh, my God. I start. Holy shit. That's some amazing shit. My name's Jeff. I'm starting first, and then it's going to be JD going. Who's over there? He's a doctor.
I'm not here, actually.
Oh, all right. You're
according to Skype, I'm not
that's
here.
true. Skype does not see you.
No.
You do not exist according to Skype. And also joined by Kyle, who will go third. And here we go. My number 10. This was really tough. I really wanted Foreigner to be represented because I believe in open borders. I have an open border policy.
My list is all American. It's not. I'm just saying that. So that's just gross to me that you would do that.
Look, I counter with Pink Floyd, The Wall. Okay. The Wall. I want a big wall. Keep your foreigners out. Big wall.
Drugs on this side, foreigners on that side.
Drugs on this.
So I went with Foreigner, a Foreigner song, and it was number 10 because like the rest of these songs are just so fucking bonkers good. And Foreigner has a lot of songs, like a lot of hits to choose from, and that's ultimately what I went with for a lot of the bands I'm going to mention are songs everybody knows. I would expect everybody to know these songs anyway because they're 50 fucking years old. But 50 plus now, I guess, 60 years old. Jesus Christ. These songs are retired now, so... also, we learned I don't know the retirement age. But Foreigner has, Hot Blooded was a great song. I even get Cold as I was singing Cold as Ice around the house before we started recording, and that's not even a song
that one.
I picked.
Man,
I think that's my
both
favorite
of those songs that
song,
you just
actually.
said. So
Yeah. And Jukebox Heroes, great fucking song too. It's a great track. It's got a cool little bass, little synthy bass thing going on. I don't know what that is, but it's cool. It's a pretty rad song. But I went with Feels Like the First Time because sometimes it just feels like the first time.
Like the very first time?
Very first time. I love the chorus, the build-up. I think it's awesome. Like the verse, I don't know. It's just the way the verse kind of builds, and then he sings like higher, and then like the build to the chorus is just like such a great payoff because it's like I don't know if it's the full band singing or if it's just his layered vocals where it sounds like a whole fucking chorus of people. Singing Feels Like the First Time, and it just feels epic as fuck, and I like that song a lot, and it's just every time it starts it's like I just get that kind of feeling from it. I just love this band. You'll hear me pick a lot of like great vocalists over songs that will probably end up speaking to people. Like there's no fucking Bob Dylan on my list, example, or Bruce Springsteen, because the vocalists are what I lean towards, basically. Pretty voices with great melodies. And that's my number 10. So JD, what's your number 10?
The Wire. Oh shit, that's the wrong. That's wrong.
Oh,
the Wire.
no.
The Wire wouldn't be your number 10 though.
Week 5 of this.
It's true. It's my number 10 is American Woman by the Guess Who. I'm not sure which one between the Guess Who and the Who is like better received.
The Who
by the masses. The Who. Okay.
The Guess
so
Who
the Guess
has like
Who.
2 songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't know anything else
yeah.
that they've ever done.
Yeah.
I didn't even really know about this song until the Austin Powers movie, which was I think Lenny Kravitz covered it for that.
Yeah, and Heather Graham, who was in the movies, starred in the music video.
She was in the
I don't want to talk about
Yes.
that right now. Okay?
God damn it. So this is more of a legacy pick because this song brought us that, and I actually kind of prefer the Kravitz version. But
Yeah,
when
me
this
too.
one comes on, it's still pretty good.
fair.
Like he's pretty faithful to it, I think. So it's the exact same song.
It's harder hitting in the Kravitz version, but I still like this one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got like that, little not grungy feel. Well, kind of grungy. I don't know. He's got like a raspy quality to his voice that works for me.
I'm
But
trying
yeah,
to
man.
look up their other songs. I can't even like.
No,
identify a
there
single
was
one of these.
nothing. This was the only song of theirs that came up in any sort of list. Yeah, man, good fucking song.
Yeah, it's a great record.
Great.
So Kyle, what is your number 10?
My number 10, Jeff, is Animals, House of the Rising Sun. Yeah, I really like this song. I like all the organs in it. It's very organs and guitars battling against each other. It's very kind of just slow and a little bit kind of a haunting melody. It's cool, man. I really like this song a lot. It's in every Vietnam movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprised it wasn't in
maybe
Kong
a couple
Skull
more of
Island.
those on this list. Who knows?
Yeah, there's a lot.
But
of
yeah,
those.
I really enjoy this song a lot. That's another one when it comes on the radio. I'm like, fuck yeah, it's a fuck yeah song for me. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of these are that for me, honestly.
yeah, that's what this whole list is.
Exactly.
So I guess
It's just like
if I say that again, I'm being redundant. at this
you
point.
never get sick of even decades later when these songs are old as shit. You're still like you hear it on the radio or something, and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
And
Still in
we
rotation.
kind of have like this isn't our music, you know what I mean? It's the music that we listened to when our parents were driving us around, like on errands or on car trips or just in general records around the house or whatever. So it kind of was our music, if you will, because it was our parents' music. I don't know if I'm being selfish there, but like we grew up with it. It was as whereas now, I bet a lot of kids like they have to go out of their way to listen to this type of music if their parents weren't passing on such stuff and this instead was passing on like your Biebers and stuff. So
Oh my god! I hope that's not what's
Can you
fucking
imagine?
happening right now.
it's
Nobody should.
That's why
pass on
radio the way it is.
Stop
so.
the cycle.
When I was growing up and we were all having family dinners and stuff, my dad would turn on the radio to 92.5, especially on Tuesdays when it would be like double block and it would be the same band, 2 songs in a row, and then they go to like another band, 2 songs in a row. We would just play a game during dinner to spice things up, and we would always have to guess the band, and my dad would always know who the band was because he listened to this shit all the time. So he's like a goddamn guru when it comes to this music.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's where my kind of love for all this stuff comes from. I know Foreigner, he loved that band a lot, and he was I think the household. My household was split between Journey and Boston. My dad was a Journey guy. My mom was a Boston person.
Oh wow, you got a little bit of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly. But Boston, I have more of an attachment towards, which we'll get to. We'll just get to that because they have a really great self-titled album. It's fucking awesome from front to back, and we'll get to it. I promise you we'll get to it. But Animals, the House of the Rising Sun, that's like an older gospel-ish song, I think. It's just kind of made the rounds, but that's the most popular version is the one from the Animals, a UK band. Good for you, Kyle, for going American.
Yeah, I'm very cultured. I know, thank you.
And
I did not know that though, that it was kind of a passed around like, gospel song. That's cool.
Yeah, it's one of those
like
older type of songs that just gets passed around from generation to generation. Kind of like nope, lost it. I don't have a reference.
Well, cool. Thanks. I appreciate your inputs.
You're welcome. You're totes welcome. But yeah, House of Rising Sun, there was a version of it on Sons of Anarchy that happens at a pretty pivotal moment. And
Shit.
it's
Yeah,
like
you're
a
right.
cover of it with like a dude singing it 2 octaves lower, which is pretty crazy, and it's creepy, and and you're like, God damn, what's gonna happen to these people? It's like there was a paradigm shift in the show, a power shift, if you will, and that song is playing, and it's just fucking awesome. Chills. I got chills during that sequence.
Damn.
Kurt Sutter's very fond of ending shows on musical sequences, but they're almost always good. It's like always like, yes, here it is. Musical sequence of people being pensive and shit. It's great. Love it. Love that song. Great choice. Honorable mention. Both of you mentioned honorable mentions for me. No joke.
Nice. Nailed it.
Cool.
Yes.
My number 9, and this is where people laugh at me because people laughed at Adam Sandler and Big Daddy when he talked about how much he loves Sticks.
Sticks.
Yes. So okay, not that song. But Renegade is legitimately the shit. Again, strong vocal performance. That's what I kind of lean towards, and what I remember most is with really strong melodies. And the songs that ultimately end up telling a story are the ones that I end up liking more too. Even though some of these later on will be like, the lyrics are indecipherable, don't make sense, who cares, the music's great. But this isn't one of those. This is a legit story. And I like how it kind of morphed into something else. Apparently when it was written, I don't know, Mr. Sticks, whatever the fuck the singer's name is.
Mr. Sticks.
Mr. Stick? Because they're the Sticks? No. When he wrote it, it was like a piano ballad or something, and it just like it was like whatever. It's one of those songs you kind of sit down and you write in like 5-10 minutes, and you're like, oh, that just fucking came out of me out of nowhere. And he started as a piano ballad, laid it down, and he was like, this is horrendous. And then the rest of the band kind of pitched in the whole, started a cappella, and then have the the band come in, and it's like just this. It's kind of like just, I don't know, man. The beat just feels good. Makes you want to dance a little bit. It's a little dancey beat for this genre. Man, I love it. It's just cool. It's just a fucking cool song. And people can suck it if they don't like Sticks, because this guy's a good singer.
It's funny that you bring up Big Daddy or whatever, because I'm pretty sure Adam Sandler put like that song in Billy Madison or one of his earlier movies.
I think you're right. I think it was Billy Madison. I do remember.
I'm pretty sure it's in a transition scene. Like
I think he's at the pool or something, and that song is playing. And he's dancing around.
Exactly. Yeah. He must Adam Sandler must legitimately love Sticks. So.
Yeah, I think so.
Figured it out, everybody.
But I'm not going to sit here and recite the catalog to you. I just like certain songs, and a lot of these, honestly, end up just popping up on Rock Band for me. And especially when you're in Rock Band and one of these songs pops up on a random set list, you're like, fucking yeah! You just get so hyped. Like, I get to play this? I get to fake play this? That's awesome. That's where a lot of these might end up coming from too. That's my number 9. So JD, what's your number 9?
It is the number 9. It is probably the most, I don't know, maybe well-known or lasting or popular Boston song. It's More Than a Feeling for me.
Oh, okay.
My mom
picked
was
a different one, but yeah, that's a great one.
This one is one that, like, you know how, like, if you're working retail or you're working at a place that has one of those like Muzak things, and you hear the same shit every day.
Yeah.
When I worked at Brookstone, we had a classic rock CD that we had to play all the time, and I'm still not sick of this song, and I swear I've heard it like over 1,000 times in my life. So I know that Boston's self-titled album is fucking great, but it's been so long since I've listened to that thing all the way through. So just on a quick glance, this is the one that stood out. I used to jam out with this in the car with my mom too. She was a big Boston fan.
Yeah, that's a beautiful song, dude.
Yeah, dude, that chorus soars, man.
Jesus Christ, that vocalist is amazing.
Yeah,
so incredible.
Unreal.
It's so high. Like I don't even think even when my vocals weren't so worn out as they are now, because I talk every day on the phone. Even when I was singing like peak vocal performance or whatever you want to call it, couldn't hit those notes on a regular, because it's like it's high the entire song. So it's really challenging to sing that song. It's just crazy. I can't wrap my brain around this dude's vocal strength and how it's just with him and Bruno Mars and shit, people like that that just permanently sing in that range, and you're like, fuck you, okay? How about that?
And it's not even like falsetto. They're not even cheating. It's genuine range.
Yeah. Fuck them.
It's not fair. That's such a great pick, man. And this, at the risk of my own, heterosexuality, you should hear the NSYNC version of it. They do an a cappella version, and it sounds very, very different.
Hey?
They change, they slow it down a little bit, and it's pretty. It's pretty as shit. And I thought it was cool.
I'm going to do that and immediately delete my search history, but I'll do it.
And now I'm on Grinder. So Kyle, what's your number 9?
My number 9, I had to get something fun on there. I had to get something from kind of like the psychedelic rock kind of time in the 60s or whatever. It's Steppenwolf, Magic Carpet Ride.
Nice.
Super fun song, very jolly. Definitely, like, I don't dance, but if it were a song I would dance to, it's definitely one I would get up and do one too. But I don't. But yeah, it makes me kind of like sway in my seat, if you will, whenever I'm listening to it. I just really like this song, and it's just kind of an assortment of instruments and sounds and everything. It's just a really psychedelic song, for lack of a better words. Yeah, and it's another one that people do a lot of like renditions of and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I started playing it a little bit because I totally forgot about this one.
Yes. Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember this song.
Yeah, great song, a lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah, I totally remember that song.
Well, I like to. It's from Team America.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, that band. When you mentioned that band, I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm like, yeah, Born to Be Wild, of course. And Magic Carpet Ride, I always have to go, what is that one again? And then I hear it. And I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
I always forget it's done by them. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, the Magic Carpet
Same
Ride
band?
song. People like by Steppenwolf. I'm like, maybe. Not the bad DC villain, right? Not that guy.
Oh my god.
They're just looking for the mother boxes,
I
man.
brought it up.
What the song's
That's
about.
right.
It's the all CG song, Magic Carpet Ride. I don't know what that means. All right. My number 8, and this could be a push, and that's fine because I have the music queued. Man, I wish I found a classic rock song that kind of like is a symbol for pushing, but whatever. Anyway, my number 8 is a heart song, and it's Barracuda. Is that a push?
Oh, Synxies.
Oh, we synchronized. Holy shit!
Nice. Fuck yeah, man.
Yes, that's awesome.
I love this song so much.
I had to put, for equality's sake, you guys, okay? I had to cuck around and put a woman in here. Sorry. No, but seriously, she legitimately is one of the best like rock vocalists, period. And so I don't feel bad about this placement at all.
Which
Hell no.
song by Barracuda?
What?
No, it's by Heart.
By Heart, excuse me. Barracuda.
Barracuda is the song.
Yeah.
I know this thing, so I'm gonna put myself on that El Muto.
You'll know it from Rock Band and Guitar Hero and shit.
Yeah, that's where I first heard this, and I'm like, who the fuck is this chick, man?
Yeah,
she is
awesome.
She's
unbelievable. And she's like, I remember when they were inducted in the Hall of Fame a couple years ago and watching them play a live couple of hit songs. This one, I think they played some alone, and she can still hit those fucking notes, and it's like insane, and it's just dead on. Her pitch it's just incredible, the things she does on the mic. But this song specifically, the vibe of this song is just unlike a lot of songs from this era of music. Just the dun digga dun digga dun digga dun. It's just not like a common thing you would hear in this type of rock. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool, like the just the whole rhythm of the song and everything. And the rhythm of the chorus, dude, the chorus is crazy. Like there's no like chord structure, it's just riffs. It's like, what?
Duh. Everyone's heard that song. Okay.
Yeah. It's like me and Magic Carpet Ride. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, right. No shit. Okay, yeah,
I literally, I like 17 movie scenes just like flash in my head where they use that. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah,
not that it's in that many movies, but I recall just hearing it many times. So.
Yeah, it's a high energy song. I love it. And
Very
JD, it's your number 8 as well. So what do you like about it?
I mean, just pretty much everything you just said. But yeah, I don't know if any of my parents really ever listened to Barracuda or not a lot, because I don't remember getting into it until Guitar Hero. Yeah. And then like Kyle said, it's one of those songs where you're like, oh yeah, that's where I've heard it. And man, Heart's one of those bands that I wouldn't quite call them guilty pleasure category, because they're fucking awesome.
No, they're great.
But they're one. I guess the better thing is, like, I know them, I love their music, and I've heard a lot of it. I just don't listen to it every day.
Me neither.
And I should, because she is a treasure.
Yeah, and every time I come across a song that I forget is them, I'm like, yeah, this is a good fucking song. Like Crazy on here is a great song. I almost put that in here instead.
Oh man,
yeah. So I mean, Alone is great. Don't get me wrong, but that's like the one I remember watching when I used to watch American Idol because I hated myself. I remember watching that, and people would always pick Alone because it's just one of the songs with the most. You start really low, and then till now, and then you start singing like belting shit, and I'm like, okay, well, that's a showy song and everything. So I know that song and I like that song, but Crazy on You is just fucking awesome too. Like in terms of riff and stuff like that, and style, it's just so unique for that time, man. And girls rocking and kicking ass, man. That's what you want.
Dude, they're still putting out albums, man. They put out one in 2016. Like, fucking good for them, man.
I think if you want, at the risk of sounding pervy, you might want to look up pictures of them from when they're in the 70s and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I'm familiar. I've seen the music video for Barracuda. She looks like,
yeah, they were fine.
Hot.
Fine.
Kyle,
what's your number? Smoldering. There you go.
Excuse me.
Very beautiful. Kyle, what's your number 8?
I have a feeling we're gonna skip right over me here. Might be a little bit of push. I don't know. I can't read you guys very well. It's David Bowie's Space Oddity.
Who's that?
Negative for me.
Yeah, it's David Bowie didn't make my list, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's great. I can talk about it then. Y'all should just say that. I did have Man Who Sold the World on here for the longest bit.
It's a great song.
Yeah, you reminded me that I was wrong, so
I didn't mean to.
On here.
I sure.
So yeah, man, I really like. I love me some Bowie, man. This is just a really trippy song. I like how slow it starts off and it kind of builds and everything like that. It's just, man, it's just a classic, and it's weird Bowie. Is this it's not Ziggy Stardust, is it? This is just regular Bowie, right?
I wouldn't describe anything as regular Bowie.
Oh yeah, duh. Yeah, I mean,
not
unless it's like Dancing in the Streets with Mick Jagger.
Yeah,
right. God, there, I actually know that one. I don't know a whole lot of Bowie, but I know that one.
That one does look a little Ziggy Stardust. He doesn't have the eyebrows in the music video and stuff, so it looks a little Ziggy Stardust, kind of that era. I guess. Man, he was making music for a long time.
He sure was.
Man, 1969 that song came out. Jesus, giggity.
Hell of a year.
Yeah. I mean, what am I supposed to say about Bowie? I mean, he's great, and this song is great.
Yeah, this song is great. Yeah,
listen to it.
Truly an inventive song or style.
It's weird, yeah. I mean, it's his whole persona, he was doing things differently than anybody on this list. And you could say this about any of these people, but like he was doing it way differently.
Yeah, and before everybody else was doing the synth stuff, he was like pew 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 in this song and stuff.
Sure. Oh yeah.
So it's just great. He was doing all the experimental stuff before people were like, "Oh yeah, we can do that." Music, right? That's pretty cool.
Oh, we're allowed to be weird.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't have to be traditional. He's just like very. I mean, that's a good word to throw out there. Like he's just super experimental, man. And it's just like I respect the hell out of that because we got a lot of what we got now because of people were just willing to one day say, "Hey, let's stop doing it that way."
Right.
Let's stop doing it that way and let's do it a different way, that's a lot of what this whole era was like, the 60s and 70s era. But man, to think about him kind of like pioneering that is really cool. And
lots of trendsetters too. Obviously, this entire 2 decades or whatever. But this David Bowie, though, I mean, sure, he might have influenced like glam rock and stuff like that in the future.
Yeah.
But still, there's been no second David Bowie. There's been nobody I've been able to go, oh, that's another David Bowie,
Yeah. Right.
Whereas all these other bands, you could probably cite their influence in a lot of, not current music, but you could cite their influence in like 90s music and early 2000s rock and stuff. But David Bowie is just kind of like, maybe he just inspired individuality. Maybe that's what it is. Because I can't think of one person that like is like David Bowie.
Well, and no one was like even going like everyone. I don't want any part of that.
Yeah,
let him have that whole market.
That's a great pick. My number 7. This is where the Beatles come in. You would think it would be higher because I love the Beatles, but when it came to what you define as classic rock. Now, these guys are like classic pop, but when it comes to classic rock, it was either between Come Together or this one song I couldn't stop thinking of because it's just such a good fucking song. And I went with A Day in the Life. I don't know if y'all remember that song.
I do.
Oh, okay, cool.
We synced on the band at least.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So your number 7 is a Beatles song too. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's the one that you wanted to pick, coincidentally enough. So
Hey, that one does have more influence in the genre, I think, overall, especially considering
Agreed.
all the bands that covered that song.
Yeah.
But I think "Day in the Life" is just really, it's a cool groove, man. And this is really when these later albums that they did, or I guess you could say at the halfway mark and beyond, were kind of more oriented towards we're just going to start making what we want instead of what the masses want to hear. And you can hear a lot of experimental shit in this song too, like all the trippy shit that you think of when you think of like 60s Beatles, like when you think of later 60s Beatles and all their drugged up bullshit, you know? Because you can, I mean, obviously it starts as straightforward acoustic stuff, and yeah, it's a, you know, it's just contemplating, as the title says, it's a fucking day in the life. You're just kind of unwinding at the start of the song. And then as it picks up and Paul starts coming in with his verse, it's kind of like, you can tell that two people wrote the song, by the way. It's pretty interesting. But when he comes in with his verse, it's kind of more like, there's no time to think about this shit. You know, I got to get out of this fucking house now because of goddamn work. Yeah. And then it's just about life on repeat, basically. And it's a great song. And then for it to have that build at the end where the band is continually playing like a regular note and shit like that, just like kind of like a one chord thing, and the orchestra is just coming in and getting louder and louder and louder, and it's just the way that it ends on that like one chord on the piano, and it fucking reverberates for a whole minute, and it's never loses its pitch or its sound. It's so cool, man. It's just an interesting song. It's really the only reason I picked it. It's because it's kind of out there a little bit. I like it, and and their version of out there is still catchy. Like I can still sing this to myself.
right, everything's rooted in poppy hooks and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
One way or another.
Like it's always going to be in the back of their mind. Like, how do we make this actually singable? Because you can't just make noises as much as you want to.
You can if you're Yoko Ono. She can just make noises.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
And everyone loves her. Like everybody, objectively.
That's so
Objectively,
weird.
absolutely everybody loves her. JD, I wonder what your number 7 is.
All right.
Are you going to make this whole thing come together? Or?
Yeah, it's come together.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
now?
this song, come together
Over me?
later.
Over
Or
that
whatever.
guy.
That person over there.
The
man.
alternate takes.
Yeah.
I don't think that flow's good.
You're fucking
We'll
up,
try it
Paul.
a different way.
Do it again, Paul.
That sounds more like fucking Stewie.
Do it again.
I don't know.
Do it
Fucking
again,
what?
Paul. Oh my god.
Do it again.
Get it like old.
like
Good.
you
I feel
said,
like
man.
I was transported.
When I was going through their catalog, just trying to find like what song, I guess, resembles classic rock the most. This one stood out.
Yeah.
I like that it's not like your typical Beatles song. It feels like a standout to me. I like how every verse it kind of builds up and then just goes right back. Like it never really hits that peak until kind of towards the very end of the song. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a good message. You know, all that typical shit from back then.
Yeah.
It felt like it was very socially relevant. It's still very socially relevant today. And it was in every '90s movie that I loved as a kid.
Yeah.
So it just got drilled into me
And
pretty much.
Aerosmith covered it, and that put it on a lot of people's radars again.
Oh yeah,
I think
you're right.
Yeah, this one was covered a lot. So there was an impact from this song for sure.
Yeah.
In terms of their other rocky songs, rock-ish songs, not rocky.
Yo.
But for real rock songs, like Revolution comes to mind, Helter Skelter, Back in the USSR, Birthday.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
those were like rock songs. They were capable of it, man, and a lot of people were just kind of. I don't know if they either got sick of them or just which does happen. It happened to my mom because her little brother was just blaring this shit all the time when he was younger, playing guitar.
That makes sense.
And if I was his age and this music was still coming out, yeah, I would be doing the same
That's
thing.
what I'd be playing. Yeah.
I'd be playing this shit. But their early stuff, I think, wore people out. Like the "I Want to Hold Your Hand" stuff and "Twist and Shout," and it's just very familiar beats. I mean, I guess they are now familiar. They're a little simple, though. I guess is what I should say.
Yeah, they're all like 3 chords and then slightly different chorus, and it's very.
Yeah,
very tight.
they're heavily borrowed from other genres that already existed too.
Right.
Like if you listen to I Saw Her Standing There, you're kind of like, oh, this is like doo-wop type of, not doo-wop, but like 50s music, but just reimagined with 4 guys playing all instruments.
Right.
I don't know. That stuff might have gotten people to tune out real quick, but they evolved. They had a hell of an evolution because drugs are a great thing. As this whole list proves.
There's your lesson, kids. Do drugs, you can be the Beatles.
Seriously,
Exactly. You can
If
be
you do a
later
lot of
Beatles.
drugs, like you'll be really creative. That's the message.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed. Like,
The drugs will show you things,
I will
kids.
show you the way.
I will show you the way.
What the fuck?
I wrote this song on meth. Okay, sorry. Don't do meth, kids. That's not gonna make you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, not
you know
meth.
what? Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Don't be stupid.
don't be
Yeah.
dumb.
Don't
Yeah.
be fucking dumb.
Pick
all
smart
right?
drugs, all right? And we don't mean like
Yeah, like
Adderall.
cocaine.
Yeah, exactly. Cocaine, nose candy. If you insert it in your nose, that means you're doing the right thing.
You can snort meth too, so let's
Oh,
not.
God damn it.
Let's not get that. That's a muddled message. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Kyle, what's your number
All right,
7?
all right. My number 7.
Yeah.
I didn't pick one, so maybe we should just skip me.
Oh, okay.
My number 7 is Creedence Clearwater Revival, "Born on the Bayou."
Committed. All right.
Born on the bayou.
Born on the Bayou. Yeah, dude, this song rocks my tits off. Am I allowed to say that? I said it anyways. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They're your tits to
They're
tell
my
the world
tits. They
whatever
can
you
rock off
want
if they
about
want
them.
to. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I fucking love this song. Man, another one that like I just a lot of these are gonna all come back to like I just remember listening to this song with my dad and him just like nailing these. Everyone's gonna have dad stories on this podcast. Just like him singing these songs in the car and them just bleeding over into my life.
Yeah.
Man, this is definitely one of them. And then, like this song pops up everywhere. Again, this is another one that's going to pop up. Like, I think it was in Forrest Gump, and just a lot of movies. And recently in Mafia 3, this song I played a lot on the radio if I had any control over it. So it's just, man, I don't know. It's a song that always, I picked it over Proud Mary. I picked it over maybe other one that may be picked later by you guys. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I just really like that band, and you just told me today, Jeff, that this guy was kind of a cuck.
Yeah.
So
He was a fuckface.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Fuckfacerty. No, John Fogerty, who ended up. He had a successful career outside the band, and after they split up and stuff, he's the guy in the band. He was like, taking credit for everything, and I don't know whether that's true or not. The only people that know that are the people in the studio that wrote the songs. But he's the one that's like, I wrote all the songs, I was in the studio the one putting all the work in. And so he wanted to pretty much have a dictatorship over the band. And, he wanted to continue to write the songs, and the band was like, we want to do this together. What are you talking about? So they just split up. They were just like, fuck this. Yeah. So, they split up, and I think they only put out like a couple albums, right? Like, this one,
pretty sure, yeah.
yeah, these were like great classic songs immediately. And it just wasn't made to last, I guess. But whatever. I don't know. Sometimes lightning in the bottle situations are better, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And this is that like real like bluesy saltgrass rock, like it's
Right.
just like a real like just southernness to it, if you will.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. The song is fucking called "Born on the Bayou." That whole album is called "The Bayou," if I'm not mistaken.
Jesus.
So-
Okay, I forgot how quickly people released albums. They had like 7 albums.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I take it back. But yeah, John Fogerty was the lead vocals and all that stuff, and great voice on that guy.
Yeah,
for
totally.
sure. I totally forgot to put them in my honorable mentions.
I can't hit that. He can
he's
hit
good.
those songs and just like
He's got some good shit.
like just reverberate those sounds, man. It's just good.
Oh, I
stuff.
guess I'm next. Shit. This might be a push, you guys. But my number 6 is a Zeppelin song. And how do you single out a goddamn Led Zeppelin song?
I don't know.
You think
I
about
don't
which
know.
one Puff Daddy covered. Then you
You
go
do.
off of that,
Of course you do.
as
Like,
one does.
yeah.
So my number 6 is Kashmir. Is that a push?
Yeah. No.
No.
No?
Nope. Have a different Zepp
I
song.
have a
on
different
mine.
Zepp
God.
song.
Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah. Here's the thing with this song, and it's not. It's not that. It's only lower for me because there's certain aspects of it that I'm kind of like, yeah, but that part isn't really that strong. I couldn't tell you any of the lyrics or like some of the melodies. oh yeah. Like that's all I remember. Is
No, you
occasionally he
nailed
sings
it. That was it.
a random part.
I remember that riff though. I mean,
Yeah.
that riff is like it.
Yeah, I know.
all the
Cashmere's got
instrumentals, dude. Like
Yeah.
and it's like
Oh, yeah.
just how fucking big it all sounds. For this, oops! I hit the little screen thing. All right.
Like, oh.
Yeah. Pop filter.
Pop filter still pops when you bitch slap.
Yeah,
bitch.
when you slap it, it pops pretty good.
All right, but yeah, Kashmir, instrumentally speaking, is just one of the best like constructed classic rock songs. Period. I just love, I love it to pieces, and it kicks ass. And I'm all about songs that kick ass, and I have a couple others that kick ass too that are in my like at the tippy top. Just for the sheer fact that you hear it and you're picturing like car chases and shit.
Nice.
Like it's just I don't know. I like that's what I gravitate towards. And yeah, sure, Robert Plant does his little sporadic singing during it, but the focus is clearly not on him in this song. And it could have been just released instrumentally, and I still probably would have put it in my top 10. That's just how fucking good it sounds. Jimmy Page was on a whole other level when he wrote this song. I assume he wrote it. I'm going to assume he's going to take full credit for that one.
Yeah.
But that's my Led Zeppelin pick. So JD, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is a small band called Aerosmith. You know, have you guys ever heard of them?
I've never heard of him.
Yeah,
No.
never. I didn't think so. Yeah.
Crazy.
Wait, that's that guy who writes music only for Michael Bay movies, right?
Yeah. I think he's
Yeah.
Liv Tyler's dad. I think that's the two things he's known for.
Oh, the elf
most.
ladies and that. Okay,
Yeah, the
he's
elf-
famous
yeah.
for that.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
He's famous for that and that only. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And he was a really sexy woman in the Don't Want to Close Your Eyes music
Look
video.
at my hot daughter. Yeah.
Oh man. Dude, these guys used to fucking rock though. Like I only
they
knew
did.
knew Steven Tyler when he was a caricature of himself. And I don't know. Did you guys ever go to Orlando, like over to the Disney World part of town? Did you guys ever do that whole thing?
Yeah, like one.
They used to have a ride called the Rock and Roller Coaster at
Been on it.
at Universal Studios.
Been on it.
And you know, so like you're going through like this fake studio tour, right? And then the whole thing of the ride is like you're watching them projected into a studio, and their manager comes in while they're giving you a tour, and she like whispers in their ear, and they're like, "Guys, we're sorry, we gotta go." And Steven's like, "Hey man, you know, we'll take care of you guys." And then Joe Perry's like, "Yeah, you know how we feel about our fans." And it's so fucking cheesy and stupid. And so the whole roller coaster ride in a limousine racing to the Aerosmith show that they forgot about. And so you're just listening to Aerosmith tunes all the way.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking cool. But I remember the part of the ride where Dream On kicks on, because it's a medley. It's like, I want to say like 6 minutes of just like snippets of choruses of theirs.
Sure, yeah.
The Dream On part of that ride had me fucking freaking out because it's super trippy in the roller coaster. And yeah, man,
man.
yeah,
It
as
is a trippy song.
like a 13-year-old riding a roller coaster, tripping his balls off. Like,
Can I remind
drugs
you
required for
guys,
that.
there was an Aerosmith arcade shooting game.
There
You know,
was. I
so
do
like
remember that.
just to add on to your idea that he was a character of himself, that's how I knew him as well. You know,
Yeah.
as this Disney World ride having first-person shooter, you know, like arcade, you know, shooter, like owning.
I need to request that our free play arcade in Richardson puts that on the floor if they can get themselves a copy of that fucking game.
I
would
totally
love-
remember that. Yeah.
I would love to play that. I've never even heard of that. That sounds amazing.
You've never heard of the Aerosmith shooting game?
No,
Jeff,
never.
I'm glad you're here to back me up because I'd sound like a crazy person right now.
No,
it was the
no, I
exact same
believe you.
thing as like the shooting Michael Jackson game. It was the same exact
I
thing.
know that one, yeah.
You had
Yeah,
to
I'm
save
sure.
Aerosmith or something. That you had to like follow them around and
Yeah, you were like their guard or something,
Yeah.
and like they were like you'd be watching like them doing their concert, and then you'd be in a fucking shootout.
Bless
Like it was a fucking ridiculous game, man.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember it being ridiculous, completely ridiculous.
No, I remember someone having to sit me down and going, "No, Kyle, like this is like a real like musician." Like, oh, really? He's not just the guy who sang the Armageddon song and it has like a video game and a fucking ride at Disney World. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I had to be taught like that he was actually somebody. You know?
I can't. Their catalog is endless, and I did pick a different song, so we'll get to it for me. But Kyle, what's your number 6?
Oh my god. Oh,
my
it's
God.
my turn. Oh my god. Let's see here. I have The Doors' "L.A. Woman" as my number 6.
Nice.
When L.A. Woman, it was between that or Rider on the Storm. Yeah, dude.
I like Riders of the Storm. Yeah, that's a good song.
Oh god, Riders on the Storm is fucking great. How do they go, LA Woman though? We were talking about it earlier, man. This is one of my favorite like build-ups in any song ever, where it's like Mr. Mojo rising, and then he just keeps on like building rising, and then it goes into an awesome like guitar thing at the end there. It's really cool, man. I love the Doors a lot. I don't love them as more than we're about to get to the stuff that I listen to like daily. But I really like specifically this album, LA Woman. There's quite a few other tracks on there that are really stand out. And but man, this is another one that I just remember like my dad singing theatrically. I mean, like pretending to have a microphone in his hand. This is like when I was like 6. You know what I mean? These are like shadow memories. I could be making half of these up. Who knows? But it's just my memory attached to these songs, is like him just like going to town on this song or whatever. And like that gets you pumped as a kid. Like, oh, I'm seeing my parent excited about this thing and I don't really understand what's going on, but they're excited. I'm excited. And it's just a song that always stuck with me. And it's a memory that's always stuck with me. So, LA Woman.
I can't say I fucking even know that song. I played a little bit of it as you were talking, low volume.
Really? Man, listen to the whole thing.
I was like, yeah, I don't know the song.
LA Woman. Yeah, good stuff, man. LA Woman, gonna talk to you.
So my number 5 is a band we just mentioned. It's Aerosmith.
Dude, looks like a lady.
David Lee Roth and Steven Tyler, same impression. That's what I got to tell you guys right now. But I went with Sweet Emotion. Because sometimes it's just really sweet, and and no, but really that song
is rich, man.
The way that song is just constructed, like it has the most perfect flow. Period. The only part that's like slightly jarring is the solo because it kind of changes keys. But that's obviously on purpose to kind of like contrast the idea of the song, but like every like the way that it starts with that fucking awesome bass riff, and it's just like and oh man, I love the verse too. It's like everything is like just guitar heavy. It's so fucking good. Like some of the best riffs from during a verse and a chorus. And that's like a chorus too. Other than the Sweet Emotion, which feels more like a bridge or whatever, but the chorus is just fucking instrumental. Then they go back into the verse. It's so good. It's like fucking flows perfectly. God,
do you remember when Micah used to cover that by himself at open mic night?
I know he had like a pedal thing, a loop pedal thing.
Yeah. He had a pedal that added like 5 layers of harmony to your voice, and you could set like kind of where they would come in, and he kicked that under in Sweet Emotion, and I'm like, you're a god. Like I know you paid $200 to be able to do that, but you're a god.
I remember he introduced me to Failure. That's what I know because he played that Failure song.
Oh, the song Failure, not like the act of failing.
Band,
sorry,
the band Failure. Yeah, sorry.
I didn't know there was a band.
I didn't know Failure until I met that man.
Sorry. The band Failure in their one hit song, like that's vaguely a hit song. Now I gotta look it up. Hold on. Stuck on You. It's a great song. Until the end of time. It's a good song. All right. I'll have to send it to you because it's like really fucking good. And he plays it like a little differently, obviously because it's acoustic or whatever. But he did like I think just a 1 octave harmony or whatever when he sang it with that microphone, and it sounded like really good with his voice and everything. Sorry, off track. That's a 90s band. Let's get on track, okay? Jeez. I love Sweet Emotion.
90s is classic rock.
Love the shit out of Sweet Emotion. And Dream On, when I hear it now, because I still hear it on the radio now, is I have 2 questions. Is that a guitar? What is that?
Yeah, right?
It doesn't sound like one. It's crazy. And B, that's not Steven Tyler. There's no way. It just like doesn't sound like him. It's just crazy.
Well, some of it is Joe Perry singing. Pretty sure about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I know the high part is Steven Tyler.
Yeah, that's
young Steven
Steven
Tyler working his ass off.
Pretty sure Joe Perry has a big part of that song.
Weird. All right. Anyway, that's the Aerosmith segment of the show. Unless Kyle has one later, we'll find out. Hey,
no,
JD. Oh, you don't? What the fuck? I'm crying. I'm dying to forget you. Okay. So JD, what is your number 5?
Man, this song is it's pretty good. It's one of the only ones from this band I'm super familiar with. You know, I like to get my my bass slapping on every now and then. It's going to be huge in the upcoming Ready Player One movie. Plug, whatever, go see it. It's Tom Sawyer by Rush.
Nice.
Running way today's time site.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, man, I love the way that you just have no idea what direction the song is going the first time you listen to it. It's all over the place. I love the way the guitar. I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it because I'm fucking tired, but and stupid. Tired and stupid. Bad combination for describing things. It's just a fun fucking song. Like I didn't get into them too much because I don't know. I was like, who's this fucking weird high voice guy? Like I don't need this shit. And then somebody told me they were Canadian. And I was like, oh, yeah, never listen to them. But,
I'm American.
But then, yeah, fuck that shit. I like my rock American. Don't want to be drinking Molson with my rock. No, that's a Canadian beer for those that don't know. Yeah,
I thought Labatt's or whatever was a fucking
I don't know.
beer.
I don't know what like the main Canadian
my family
beer is,
in upstate New York drinks that shit, and I had one, and I was like, this is worse than piss. It's terrible.
Yeah, Canadian beer, it's like, just stop.
Yeah.
You should just stop.
It's like, oh, I guess you're just satisfied with having shitty things. That's good. Good for you.
Good for
They're
you.
too nice to tell people this isn't good.
Oh, Canada. But anyway, they gave us Rush, and so that's a good thing. And yeah, man, they're some of the pioneers of prog rock, so I definitely respect the shit out of them, even if I don't listen to much more than this song and a couple others regularly. But yeah, this song just fucking jams.
I only left it off because it came out in 81, and I wanted to include it in the 80s rock.
Yeah. Well, we will.
I will.
Yeah, we
which
will.
I fucking will.
I'm definitely repping this song. Here come come them. I got another Rush song later.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
In the 70s.
I have an honorable mention from Rush, and it's Fly By Night. It's an early Rush, like second album, I think, Rush song. Fly by night, something's fucking your face. Something like that. Anyway,
great lyrics.
I don't know any other words.
Exactly what it is.
Who knows what the fuck Neil Peart's talking about half the time because he writes the lyrics. But yeah, I love that band. Introduction for me to progressive rock music. I didn't know that was like a thing or what that would have sounded like, what makes it different until Rush. I mean, that was like the first intro for me.
Yeah.
And
that's what made you such a big Coheed fan, like, right? It was that Rush influence.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah.
I don't listen to generic progressive rock.
Generic progressive rock.
Super generic.
I mean,
get the fuck.
I would call it
here.
Mainstream progressive rock, but I mean, generic
it's
is
mainstream,
a bad word.
but come on, man. The whole thing. There's a fucking comic book story behind it. Like, it's not generic.
That doesn't make the music suddenly good.
Well, it doesn't make it generic
for me.
I mean, nobody else is doing that.
I'm just talking the notes, okay? Like the whatever. Anyway,
triggered.
Everything's too symmetrical in that goddamn band. It drives me crazy. Anyway, Rush wouldn't describe them as symmetrical at all. Unpredictable is how I'd describe them.
For sure.
It's prog rock for you. I mean, it's supposed to be unpredictable. Well, yeah, where I get that, where the other band is a little more structured and everything. So
yeah, like I can predict that here's where this chord's gonna come in. Here's where this chord's gonna come in. Melody's gonna go this way. It's just certain things I can kind of see. So yeah, mainstream prog rock is probably the better. More objective description.
Shitty ass prog rock. Wouldn't use that word. Yeah.
Like, cause I love the Mars Volta, and that's like progressive rock. That's like, what the
Mars
fuck is happening?
The most chaotic prog rock that to exist.
Yeah.
Like, and it's in some of its albums. Some, you can get really like followable, if that's even a word, with Mars Volta, or you can get lost in their fucking sound. Just to kind of depends on the album you land on.
So much ambience, whatever. And
there's a lot
of their like Francis the Mute has a lot of like just sounds between
Francis
songs.
Mute will just be like it'll end on a huge guitar riff, and then it'll just be like 3.5 minutes of just ambient sound, and then come back in with the chorus. Yeah, it's just so like, fucking crazy. Bubble sounds.
And that's apparently all they do live is like they do more of the sounds than the actual songs.
Man, I could be ruining this term, but I think they call those whips or whatever. They go into one and they'll last like 10 minutes while they're live. and then they'll jam right back into the song and then go into like an 8-minute one. It's just like what that's what they do. It's really drug.
What you buy tickets for.
So if people are there like on a lot of whatever, like people are and then it kicks back in. It's very I remember listening to one of their live albums, and it was so psychedelic and it was so hardcore and it was so crazy, and at the very end of it they go wipe yourself off. And they walk off stage.
And I like
so
that Cedric, whatever his name is, a singer, will stop the show if people start moshing. He's like, we don't do that shit here. And I just love that. I fucking love that because he wants people to listen to, take in the music and not be aggressive about it. Like they're all about the music, man. I like that. Sorry, I know people that go to shows that hit a little harder and they do like being a part of the moshing stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I almost got killed at a brand new show last year, and I was not expecting that at all. I thought they were still like
the
emo
band,
post-hardcore. Yeah,
it's like a brand new show.
Yeah, a brand new show.
It's like the failure thing.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say the name also. Yeah.
Sorry. I forget that not everybody knows them because they're not like super mainstream or anything. But they haven't been to Dallas in like 5 years, and people were like very noticeably amped up for that shit. And I almost died. It was bad. Man. Don't be out of shape and stand 8 rows from the front.
I'd
Don't
stop them and be
that.
like, dude, I'm out of shape in 31. Stop.
Stop. I'm here to listen to the music.
I have kids. Just lie.
Like at one point, I asked the fucking trees, and they were tree people. Like they were fucking Groot-sized human beings that were to the right of me.
Yeah.
Like, can you guys lift me up and like crowd surf? Like, just tell them to move me that way because I don't have to walk through all these people, and I need water. Like I'm gonna fucking die. And
did they?
No, they're like, dude, you go up, you're going that way. I'm like, I can't. There's no exit up there. You're just stuck in the front.
Yeah, you're just sending me to my death.
So, no, thank you, bastards.
Oh man. Anyway, sorry, Kyle. What's your number 5?
Oh wow. Okay, it's my Led Zeppelin song, and it's "Whole Lot of Love."
All right.
Whole Lot of Love. This is a song I sing daily. What I just did, literally. Whole lot of love. I'll sing it out of context. I think Tom Segura has like a joke where he's just like, I just say bikes out loud
bikes.
all the time. Yeah. I'll do that like I have Tourette's constantly. Whole lot of love. So I don't know. It's a song that I've known my entire life. It feels like because it came out before I was alive. So
crazy. A lot of these songs did. That's fucking nuts to think of.
Every song
every one of them.
Did?
Yep.
Yeah.
People were doing stuff before we were born. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, same here. Like the world existed before me, and that's what the life experience is all about: is ego. So, me. I fucking love Led Zeppelin. Like when I was joking with y'all in chat earlier, just like man, I just hate like 80s hair metals like AC/DC when they sing like this, and stuff like I'm like that's kind of what Led Zeppelin does, and there's other bands I listen to who do that too. So. Maybe I have something else against hair metal. I don't know what I have against that because Led Zeppelin, I like it when he sings that way. I like
his voice is like naturally prettier though. Like I don't think that what's his face from AC/DC is it Angus? Is that the singer's name or is that the guitarist? I don't know. I'm bad with them. I don't know. I feel like he learned how to kind of sing okay, but his voice is mostly just raspy and crappy.
Yeah,
I feel like
maybe that's
I feel like Led
is.
Zeppelin is like an angel.
To this. I don't know. There's more clarity. Whereas with AC/DC, it's welcome to the jungle.
Yeah. It's too much.
I don't know. It's too much.
No, Robert Plant is like he is a golden god. Like that guy is amazing.
Where's that Guns N' Roses? No, I had that right? AC/DC?
And now he's doing like weird country stuff with Alison Krauss or whatever. I haven't listened to it.
What? He's doing? Get the fuck out.
It's like country, slow, bluegrass. I don't know what the fuck it is. But like obviously his register is like way low now because he can't. He
shot it to shit.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I'm just bummed they only reunited once. But I mean, what are we going to expect him to go up there and go way down inside and let's go? Yeah, that's hot now. No, Every Inch of My Love. No, I don't want you to sing that when you're 80. That's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I'm good. I'm good with listening to the remastered albums now. I'm okay. Thank you. That's a great pick. And that song rocks the shit, dude. Especially when it's just like guitar, and I love it when he's just singing
they wail
by himself, and then the drums come in and just kick your ass. That's a kick-ass song right there.
It's a super kick-ass song.
So I guess. Oh yeah, shit. I'm next. My number 4 is my Boston song. It's Long Time. It's not
Why would you
racist.
say it like that?
That's just how I said it. That's just how I say the phrase long time. All right. Except for that time. I'm just learning. I'm learning how to not say it that way now. But yeah, it includes the part of foreplay, the part before it, where it's just the band doing like weird fucking organ sounds. What's the word where you do like octaves, arpeggiated? They're using like an arpeggiated organ, whenever, and the bass is going fucking wild. It's a great intro to the song that ends up being nothing like that.
Yeah,
It's been such a long time, and I love the vocals, dude. The vocals again are taking over my list because his vocals are insane in this song. Yeah, I just love it, man. It's like an
I'm
8-10
really
minute song.
mad that I had to remind myself what this song was.
Oh, yeah.
This song is fucking great.
Yeah. This is Rock Band 1 great. That's what this song is. It reminds me of that because I played this so many times at Rock Band 1. But on top of that, though, Boston was an album, the first album, that included this and literally every single hit you can think of, like More Than a Feeling, Hitch a Ride, Smokin'. It included every hit you can possibly think of from Boston. And I remember like we went from Plano, Texas to Hot Springs, Arkansas as a family, and we just had that album on repeat. And nobody bitched once. Nobody was like, can you change it? We were all like, this is fucking great. Let's just keep listening to it. And that's like a 4 or 6 hour drive.
Yeah.
We just listened to it the entire time. We didn't give a shit. The album's not even an hour long. Like, like we just loved it so much. And yeah, this song is just the most complex in my opinion. The intro, that's the more progressive thing coming out. And then the way that segues into Long Time, it's just... I think it's just really fucking smooth, and yeah, I love the opening guitar riff on that. It's god damn it, lots of mouth guitars this episode, but yeah, it's a great song. So Jade, D, Jade E. What is your number 4?
JD.
My number 4 is probably going to get pushed, maybe, but before it does, let me just say. This song in a certain television universe might be the most important song in the fucking world. It's All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
Can we push that? And what's wrong with you?
What, for having it lower?
Is it because of The Wire,
fine.
you
That's
piece of
plenty
shit?
high.
Yeah, The Wire.
It's definitely because of The Wire.
fucking that McNulty. He's at it again.
Can I just say,
I wasn't even prepared for the song. Sorry, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and just backtrack a little bit. There we go. There's the song.
There we go.
All along the Watchtower. I like the excuse me. I like the Dave Matthews version.
Oh,
You should hear that one.
Okay.
Have you not heard it?
No, never.
It's really cool because it starts like
never.
it starts really slow, and he's just playing obviously the 4 chords of the song, and when he goes no reason to get excited, it's slower than that. I'm just rushing it for the purpose of whatever. The band comes in, like it just goes bam, like all of them hit a note, and it just trying to fucking scare the audience, and the lights flash on the stage. It's great. I love it.
I think the Dave Matthews Band are a bunch of fracking Cylons. That's what I think. They love that song.
Yeah.
Are we done? Did you get it out of your system?
No, I've got too many because I'm about to bring it up later, and it's gonna be everything's just gonna be in Battlestar code. So
God
exactly.
damn it! Here's the thing with that song too. Bob Dylan wrote it, and you selected Jimi Hendrix. You traitor!
I almost had a Bob Dylan song on here, but
I went with another Hendrix song. You guys are gonna be mad, but whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck.
Probably won't be. You have Hendrix on your list, and it's
that's
obviously
cool, man.
very high.
It's dope.
I'm probably
Very
be
high.
pretty happy.
Yeah. So Kyle, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is we just talked about it earlier. Rush. It's the Overture. I mean, it's 2 songs like smashed into one. They're not 2 different tracks. It's Overture and the Temple of Syrinx? Whatever. It's a weird sci-fi story, this album. Yeah, it's from 2112, man. It's the first song. It's the first song on 2112.
Right.
And man, when they play this song, like you just know like you're in for a fucking ride. Like it's fucking it's I don't know, man. It's another one when someone like turns on the album like cool. Here goes like an hour and a half of my life. We're about to listen to this whole thing, or an hour and 10 minutes, whatever it is. We're about to listen to this whole thing, like from start to finish. But man, it all starts with this track, and it's so cool, man. And I love the sci-fi story, man. It's so 70s cheesy sci-fi, but they tell a story. You were talking about like songs that tell a story. This is an album that tells a story, and it's a future with no music. And this guy finds like a guitar, and he's the story goes from there. I can't even remember the whole fucking thing, man. It's kind of an elaborate story about like a dystopian future with no music, and this guy like brings music to this future or whatever. Man, it's fucking rad. I really like this song. There's a lot of transitions in it and everything. You were talking about Boston. That's the hardest transition, is when you never come back to it. Like they set up a whole entire song, like you were talking about, transition to something else and never go back to that. Whereas at least Rush and more traditional prog rock, like they kind of always kind of swoop back to that thing. So man, you kind of brought something to me that like Boston kind of like not started, but like was in the pioneer phases of that type of music, which we listen to now. That's traditional prog rock, where it's just like, oh, this song transitions 12 times. Cool, I'll check that one out. That's pretty rad. But yeah, man, Rush, 2112, the whole album's great. First song though, Temple of Syrinx, it's awesome. It's a really great song. Really, really gets you pumped, man. And his voice is another one of those, again, like the high-pitched, almost like unnatural type of sound, but it works so well for this entire band. You're either in it or you're out of it. I know a lot of people who hate Rush, just hate them. Hate the sound, hate everything. I mean, hate the unstructured nature of them, hates everything.
I guess that's what it is. I just need more structure in my music, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to explain hating Rush. You still have to respect it, even if you don't listen to him. At least in my opinion, I don't know. Fuck them.
So. Yeah. You know what? They're actually not that good. They're off my list.
You know what? Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned those two because like they count however many sub songs it is of that 5-6 songs. They count all of it as one, and they just call it 2112. And that was like side A or whatever.
It's a 7-song. A sci-fi extravaganza, man. This is my favorite type of prog rock. Is just like, hey, this entire album is literally, it's pretty much one song. It all bleeds into it to itself. Like albums like Between the Buried and Me and Arion and Vandenplas and stuff like that. They all do stuff like this, and they were doing stuff like this in the 70s, and people were doing stuff like this far before them with like Pink Floyd and stuff like that. Which I don't know. We may talk about them. Who knows?
No, probably not.
Probably not. But
I won't.
Yeah.
None of us will, maybe.
We know.
Evil one.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I don't know. They were doing really high concept sci-fi stories, and like that's what I love listening. That's my favorite type of album. Like if one of my new like prog rock loves like go, hey, our next tour is gonna be a sci-fi thing, I'm gonna immediately be excited because of this album, because of me listening to this album. In my teens, I didn't listen to it when I was a kid or whatever, but like in my late teens, like, as I was graduating high school and stuff like that, I think I started getting into Rush because of a movie called Fanboys, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And Rock Band, Tom Sawyer being on Rock Band and stuff like that. It was all kind of like that area of time or whatever. But yeah, so...
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Rush or whatever, And
the 2112 was like even pre Moving Pictures, which I think is their best album because it's like all the fucking hits wrapped into one. It's a great record. Great record.
Great.
Yeah, that level of ambition, man. Ugh. The fact that there's two, like whoever was backing them, their label was like, just keep making your music. That's just ballsy. Yeah, whatever. I'm realizing now that my number 3 is a 1981 song, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it anyway.
Oh, you broke your
I broke my goddamn rule.
Yeah, wow. All right.
Because this song is the epitome of classic rock. It's Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Wow. Oh, man. It is, but I fucking hate that song at this point.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I don't give a shit that it's overplayed because almost all of these are.
True.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Very true.
You know why I call him this one? And I love this song, dude. I'm not shitting on this choice. This is a great fucking choice. After this, it was the Sopranos episode, right? That it was on?
Yes.
Yeah.
And dude, I don't Did I tell this story already? I went to strip club. We didn't go to strip. I don't go to strip clubs a lot, but at that time,
I think you
we were
did
going
mention
to strip clubs
this.
a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, I'm pretty
You sure
I
do
did.
talk about it a lot.
And
I mean,
they were fucking playing this song all the time. So this song is literally dead to me because I've seen too many really bummed out strippers dancing to it. So
like not even the B team, like the C team.
you know, it's
Are they
like
that level of disinterested?
exactly maybe like the B- team. I don't know.
They didn't-
I feel like
it
it's
sounds like-
objectifying to give them ratings, but yeah, that's about where they were.
They didn't take the song's advice at all. They were like,
No,
"I'm-
they quit
I'm
believing
done
They
a long
believing."
stopped
time ago,
believing.
and
Yeah.
I think that's what they created this dichotomy.
Yeah.
You know, where songs telling me to don't stop believing, but their eyes are telling me that we stopped believing a long time ago. And yeah, it broke my heart.
It's just karaoke bullshit aside, because it's like number one on everybody's karaoke gotta sing it list.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be because they are bad at it.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
know.
what's killed it for me. It's not the song itself. It's just
the
like
range,
have
dude.
you
The range is too much for any
Dude.
like just drunk person to do it. It's just
Tony
insanely
Romo
high.
tried to do this song at like a wedding or a Cowboys event, and like he did the
And he
whole
broke his
thing,
back. Oh.
and and he got hurt, and so we didn't fix it.
Yeah, when it's on whatever
Out for
that
the
actress
season.
is called.
What do you know?
No, he butchered the shit out of it. It's kind of similar to like when, and this reference might be lost, but when the Mavericks won the basketball championship, Dirk sang "We Are the Champions." I can't listen to that fucking song again. Like Dirk is a "We Are the Champions." Like, oh my god, you're terrible. Stop it. So, be careful when you sing songs like that in public because you could ruin it for somebody. Thank
Forever.
Yeah.
you. PSA. Thank you.
PSA, everybody. I'm not really gonna add a whole lot to it because I just think it's. I don't know if they realized when they wrote it how fucking popular it would be 40 years from that time or whatever. 30 years, whatever. It came out in 81, whatever. But still, like, I mean, seriously, like that melody and that story that they're saying that they're telling of these people in this city or whatever the fuck you want to call it. The ethereal city or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Quote unquote, the city.
Yeah.
There. That's what I was trying to say. Anyway, any fucking way, it's a good song, and I'm gonna get some hate for putting it so high, but it is extremely popular, and I'm a populist guy. That's what I try to do. I try to please the masses here. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to 106.1 this scenario. All right.
So popular, the man wrote about it. Mayor.
I'm just
in a
I'm
clever
noticing something here, and maybe I'm pretty sure I at least know a little bit about y'all's list because we were talking about it earlier. But I'm gonna ask you guys the same thing that my boss asked me because I share all my lists with my boss because he's very interested in my list and stuff like that or whatever. Just because it's good conversations or whatever to pass the day.
Yeah.
No Kiss? Are we not Kiss fans?
Ooh,
we
on men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rock
You know,
and roll all
for
night.
me,
I fucking love that song.
Yeah, that's how I feel, Jeff. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just, people have to remind me they exist. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I know about their makeup. I don't know
Mini
anything
Kiss
about-
is better, like undeniably more entertaining. Mini Kiss, when it's a whole bunch of little people dressed up as Kiss, so much better.
Yeah,
Detroit Rock City is a good song. I think that's
I like that,
that's a fun little
I
jam.
like that song. Yeah, he recognized how much stuff was on my list, and he was just like, "Yeah, I don't like a lot of your stoner rock. I'm more into Kiss." I'm like, "Why'd you have to put it that way?"
Good God.
I mean, he's not wrong, but like,
He's a little wrong. This is classic rock.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, I know, JD. Shut up.
I mean, you're wrong, but you're not wrong.
As the doctor of the podcast, you're almost never wrong. So.
Oh man, I'm wrong far more often than I would like my
I
patients to know.
think, I think Journey being so high too has to do with Steve Perry having the voice of a goddamn angel. So
True.
yeah, I had to go with him too. I mean, like I said, I lean towards vocalists that impress me, and Boston and Journey were like two of the best of that specific type of genre of like clean voiced, fucking high as shit singing. That's just gorgeous. And with good melody choices. It's not like they're great singers and they're shitty songs. They're great songs. Anyway, that's my number 3. So, Judd, what's your number 3?
Yeah. Man, my number 3 is not one with like super deep lyrics or anything.
Oh.
Not at all. It's a Led Zeppelin song that's like all riff based. It's sexy as fuck. I went ahead and put Black Dog at number 3.
Yeah, dude. I was okay. Seriously, I was in between Black Dog, Cashmere, and a Whole Lot of Love for the song I was going to put on here.
Oh,
so.
nice. Yeah,
those are the ones I was
good
circling
job
too.
on both of you guys. Great
Nice.
job.
Nice. Man, like there was a second where like I was like, I have to put Stairway, right? Like I have to put Stairway.
Oh, man.
That's the other thing.
And-
Like,
No, I didn't.
no
I
one's
didn't
allowed
have
to ever say Stairway is their favorite Led Zeppelin song ever.
Yeah, it's true. And, because even though it's the one that like undeniably everybody knows, and if you've ever played guitar, you've tried to learn that song.
Yeah, I'm very much in the Wayne's World
one of the
theory
first songs
of that.
I tried to
The
learn.
No Stairway to Heaven sign, like always point to that. Like I love that song. Like seriously, I cannot express that enough. But like, it's like saying Vegeta's your favorite Dragon Ball Z character. You know what I mean? It's like
I get that reference.
It goes from that Stairway to Heaven's confusing because it goes to it's like this pretty fucking ballad thing, and then it goes into All Along the Watchtower more or less, which is weird.
Yeah,
because it's the same chord structure, same exact chord structure.
You not ruin this.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
I'm sorry. It's just like I'm kind of over that song because open mics ruined these songs for me. Like, fortunately, nobody could hit "Don't Stop Believin'" at an open mic night. Like, nobody could bother singing that because it was too fucking hard. And it is. So they didn't try. So thank God for that, or else it'd be ruined for me.
Jesus.
But another one was Freebird. Freebird was disqualified from my list because hearing that song's title makes me want to punch an infant.
Freebird!
Same here. Yeah, when people are, hey, what's your favorite song? Freebird. You have no soul.
Anybody have any requests?
You have no soul and you have zero taste in music. You can love a Leonard Skinner song. Please do not choose Freebird. It's a great song. Don't choose that one.
There's a dude. It might have been Bill Hicks even. There's a comedian who was telling jokes and somebody yelled Freebird and he let him have it. He was screaming into the mic like, what's the fucking value in you saying that? Because you're there, you say Freebird, and I'm up here and I'm telling my jokes. Why the fuck would you say that to me? It's so fucking funny.
I'm going to search for that rant when we're done. That's awesome.
Yep. And then I'm trying to remember. He did not have a guitar, I don't think. I thought it was Bill Hicks. Because there was like a bunch of videos I watched back to back. It was about Bill Hicks taking down a heckler, and he considered that person a heckler, I think. Because there's like no fucking value in you saying that. Because I'm going to sit here and continue to do my jokes, and you're going to look there like a fucking dumbass. It's so great. Fucking... That song was incredibly well used in Kingsman, the Secret Service, in the church scene. That had a great build-up to it. That was really clever, the way they used that. But beyond that, just no one talking about the song. Doesn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
Watch it be JD's number one now.
Yeah,
number one
absolutely.
is Sweet Home Alabama now. All right. All I can think of is fucking
and I
Kid
like
Rock
that
and
song,
his
but
fans.
seriously, fuck that song.
Yeah,
dude. I started to say.
Does anyone do you feel me when I say that? Like, it's just like that song's great, but like seriously, don't ever play it again.
It shifted to comedy for me, I think, with Con Air when they're like, I think Steve Buscemi's character is like, define irony. Bunch of idiots dancing on a plane, singing a song sung by a band that died on a plane or in a plane crash or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this song will always be funny to me because of that shit.
Oh, good. See, I love it whenever a positive imprint gets put on something.
Yeah.
Anyway, did we detract from your Black Dog discussion?
Oh, well, I wanted to get into the deep lyrics. Like, the one where he's like, oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Led Zeppelin's really good at that.
Just reading, like, there's another one later down where he just goes, comma. They put the comma in there. Dude, reading these lyrics is painful, and it almost made me not pick the song, but dude, that groove is so fucking cool.
That song's fucking rad.
Like, it's just, that fucking riff is amazing to me.
Yeah. I think it's funny listening to the remastered version of it, which, by the way, guys, that was released as a box set. Everybody should go get that. It's pretty good. But it opens with Black Dog, and I was just very aware of how they might not have been using a click track. Because it sounded like the guitar was like ahead of the drums,
rhythm is
and
off.
The drums were like, are you hitting it here? Do I hit it here? It was kind of crazy because Jimmy Page was just fucking owning it, and it's like the rhythm section was just kind of like, it's a great record though. So
great,
whatever.
Yeah, dude, 4 is
fucking
awesome.
British
I got
people
that
owning
shit
this.
on vinyl, bruh. My aunt gave it to me. It was in a random box of vinyls that she.
It's fucking
like,
so rad.
Look through this and see if you find anything you like. I'm like,
I've never heard of
greatest
Led Zeppelin,
albums
but I
ever.
think I'll take it home and check it out.
Yeah, I'll check it out. And it's it's the fourth one, and fours are garbage, so it's just bad. I'll just
Right. As we all know from Uncharted 4, I couldn't think of a fourth one.
Can you not?
And the Fantastic Four, because we all know the Fantastic 1 through 3 is really good.
Yeah, I really like Fantastic 2 specifically.
Yeah, me too. It's always the second one. That's the best one.
What's the second one, right?
Need
Scream
more
2?
Silver Surfer. I think we need more of that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Specifically,
Aren't they
Lawrence
doing a
Fishburne
Silver Surfer
voicing
movie? Isn't
Silver
Fox
Surfer.
trying to turn one out right now?
They're trying to churn out everything. Who knows nowadays? I think there's a project announced for
Let's
everybody now.
like 17 more movies before he passes fucking train wreck onto Marvel.
Oh my God, Fox! Just stop. Stop
Yeah.
it, Fox. If you learned anything from this,
And now, like,
discussion.
Time Warner wants to buy them? Or, I don't like.
no,
something
Time
else
Warner
has
is
happened.
just. You're talking about the rumors that Fox was thinking of, like. Oh, not Fox. Sorry. No, yeah, we're talking about Fox. Oh yeah. Yeah, Time Warner is trying to merge with AOL, right? Or was that?
They've already done that.
Did they already do that?
Yeah,
What am I
AOL's been
thinking of
owned
then?
by Time Warner
Something
for a
else
long
is
time.
happening with Time Warner, and it's like it's maybe disrupting.
Is it
the-
it's
AT&T
Time Warner,
and
Time Warner and
right?
Comcast.
AT&T and Time Warner. Yeah.
No, it's Time
Yeah.
Warner and Comcast. I thought. I don't know. Either way,
I thought they were already.
Either way,
I
it's
thought they
fine.
were-
Either way.
Either way.
Either way,
Either
Who
it's
way.
not
gives a
fine.
shit? You know, everyone owns everybody at this point. So
this is true.
Yeah, it is AT&T and Time Warner. Antitrust trial starts today.
6 goddamn families own this
and
whole world.
This one is apparently like people were always bitching about Disney buying Fox and stuff, but this one is like way worse. Like people
Yeah.
forget how much
I
Time
think it has a
Warner
more
and AT&T
direct
owns.
Direct effect on everybody's life.
Literally everybody's life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Disney owning Fox's assets, movie assets, is more like specific to that industry.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
Also, they would sell Fox's assets anyway. You can't have the government force Fox to keep their shit because they're just going
Right.
to fire everybody anyway. Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. I feel like that's a better deal.
Yeah, what is the government gonna do? You can't do that. Well, we're gonna because we don't want to do this
Yeah.
anymore.
Okay. Well, we'll just fire everybody and add them to your unemployment line.
And then we'll just let everything liquid. I don't know.
And it's like I think we've made this metaphor before. It's like a garage sale. Like, if one family comes over and buys all their shit, like, sorry, other families, you didn't show up quicker. Like, I sold all my
You
shit.
just showed up with more
I
money.
just had the
and
most
quicker.
successful garage sale of all time. So fuck
Yeah.
you. You
We're
know,
walking away with all this money we just made that we
Yeah.
don't have anymore because we just
Yeah.
sold everything.
fine with me.
So Black Dog. Sorry, Black Dog's
Yeah.
good. Kyle, what's your number 3?
Good.
Kyle, number 3.
Sorry, I like unplugged my fucking. God, I'm like a spaz right now. My number 3.
left.
We're gonna let Jeff be tired of this song one more time. It's Jimi Hendrix All Along the Watchtower.
Oh my
right.
God, that fucking song! I'm just kidding. That song's great.
I get it, man. You know, this may be only my favorite Jimi Hendrix song because I just watched, Battlestar Galactica. Because, maybe before this Battlestar Galactica, maybe it wouldn't have been because it hasn't always been my favorite. I was just like, oh, damn, man, I can't believe, I don't know. Battlestar Galactica elevates a lot of things because
It
it's
does.
the greatest thing.
It really does. It's a great experience that I wish
Kinda
everybody
like,
that
it
I
actually
knew would
enhances
enjoy.
your
you know?
life and it actually cures diseases if you watch it. So,
It does. Yeah, it's a Starbucks effect for sure.
I know
Starbucks?
you
Did you guys get Starbucks?
Starbucks, yeah, S-Bucks. Mm-hmm. Yep, got that caramel mocha Ceylaniato or whatever.
Man.
I don't know.
Was this for you, JD? Was it down at 5?
'cause he hates it.
No, I had it at 4. So I was one removed from you, and I got scorned for that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I even said I was like, it just a little push. But yeah, whatever, dude. It's all right. You should have had a little higher, but you did what you had to do.
Yeah, I got
Dude, this song's like fucking good, and like,
Yeah.
man, he was so good at playing guitar. And my favorite little thing about him, which I don't know if it's fact or legend at this point, it's probably more legend. He would like put his LSD like strips or dip his headband behind his headband. So he'd either dip his headband in LSD or he would have like the strips behind his headband. So as he was playing and sweating, it would like enter his body. And like midway through like the any live concert or whatever, he would be fucking blasting off in a different dimension while fucking wailing off like live guitar or whatever, man.
That is
Like, why his
amazing.
live stuff is so fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, if you ever listen to any of his live albums or seen one of his like live Woodstock like stuff or whatever, and he's just like fucking wailing for like, he's in like a fucking he's in a total acid trip or whatever. Like, it's super cool. Again, I don't, he's dead. We can't ask him. I don't know if that's like fact or legend at this point or whatever.
Who
but,
cares?
Like,
I believe it.
That's
this shit.
that's up there with
man,
like
he was-
sorry.
He's one of the 26 clubbers or whatever. What is that club called?
27.
27? Club
Talking
27?
about all the celebrities that died at 27, like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like
Like he, man,
Oh,
he died
yeah,
before he was able to get everything out of his brain, and we won't
Yeah.
ever, we won't ever get all that other stuff that he was like
that. I mean,
planning
I
on
don't
making.
know. They release a new album from him like every fucking year.
What is he, Tupac of the 60s?
It's like, are we getting another one? Are you serious?
He's got a lot of like unreleased raw stuff that his family's held
Yeah,
on to.
him, Joplin, Jim Morrison all died at 27. Kurt Cobain. Yeah, Kurt Cobain is when that whole 27 club started. Is because it was another one. Oh, another iconic voice in music is gone way too soon. It's so fucking depressing. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
It really
seriously.
is.
That's a great song though. And Bob Dylan, along the Watchtower. So glad several people turned it into something else.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that I hate Bob Dylan. Great lyricist and storyteller. But I would never like listen to a Bob Dylan album. I just can't do it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tolerate it, I guess, because
There's
he is
couple
such a good
songs I like
storyteller.
by him, but albums, no, you're not going to crap me for an hour and a half with him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not one that would compel me to sing along, because then I would realize how badly he's like flat.
Right.
If that makes
I enjoy listening to covers of his music more than his music. Performed by him.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So my number 2 is a Jimi Hendrix song. It's the
Sweet.
Jimi Hendrix Experience. Okay, you guys, you ready
Okay.
for this?
Huh?
It's predictable as fuck. It's Voodoo Child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God, you're right. I am mad. No, that's good. That's a good one.
I remember, believe it or not, my first exposure to this shit was goddamn wrestling. When Hulk Hogan turned his back on the entire WWE universe. Oh, it was WCW. Sorry, it was. But when he turned his back on all the fans, all the Hulkamaniacs, he started coming out to the ring to Voodoo Child because they could afford that at WCW. They had unlimited funds from Ted Turner. That and for fucking not even that. Not only that, Diamond Dallas Page. Remember him?
DDP.
He would come out to the ring to "Smells Like Teen Spirit," like for real. And you're
Yeah.
like, how the fuck could they afford this shit? It was crazy. Voodoo Child. That was like my first exposure to it. And I just remember going, what is this music? Because it kicks ass. Does not match Hogan at all. Doesn't. It just doesn't.
Oh.
But I just noticed the song like immediately. And that's what turned me on to Jimi Hendrix in general, is like bothering to look up who this was by and to find more of their shit. But this one, to date, I could still like put it on. And I'm just like, man, this song just fucking slays. And I rarely use that word. It fucking slays.
It's a fucking banger.
It's a banger. It kicks so much ass. So much ass. It rocks my dick off. Yeah, I just love it so much. And I don't really care that it's kind of like obscure poetry. This is another song kind of like Kashmir, where it's like, oh, yeah. Where you're just kind of like, what are you talking about? Whatever. I'm just, yeah, standing next to a mountain. It's great. I love his original music. Is just, it's at that time, I think it was just like so ahead of its time, because I could have selected anything really. I know you guys selected All Along the Watchtower, which is great. It's not an original song, fuckers.
Fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
When Cries Mary,
almost
fucking
like
rocks
Purple
that song,
Haze
and it was
or-
on that really good show, so whatever.
oh my god! But When Cries Mary though is gorgeous. Some great lyrics in there, and Bold as Love is like one of the most lyrically, just incredible songs he ever did. And John Mayer covered it and did it like amazing. But and then what else is there? Little Wing is great. Foxy Lady, guys. Foxy Lady. You just can't discount the lyrical genius of Foxy Lady.
I like Purple Haze a lot.
Purple Haze is great too. It's all in my brain.
Excuse me while I kiss the sky.
I'm gonna kiss that guy right over. I'm pretty sure he actually said those lyrics one time, like for real at Woodstock, just to fuck with people. Well, kiss that guy. And everybody was like, "What?"
Whoa.
That's what we do when we're camping, is we sing these classic rock songs and like switch the lyrics and stuff like that. So like you can never.
That's the Jimi Hendrix.
You remember it for the wrong thing, so you ruin songs for people pretty much.
Right. Yeah, I love Voodoo Child, and I know that Stevie Ray Vaughan came along and like perfected that shit because Jimi Hendrix, for all of his skills, was kind of wasn't very meticulous with his guitar playing. He was more organic with it, if I could say so. Not that he was particularly sloppy, because he would obviously hit the right notes to the point that we acknowledge him as one of the great guitarists to ever exist. But Stevie Ray Vaughan came along, covered Voodoo Child, and nailed it even more so than Jimi Hendrix did. But it's Jimmy's baby, So that's the one that's the one I ended up picking at number 2.
Cool.
So Judd, what's your number 2?
Yeah. My number 2 is a little song by Queen. You might have heard of it. Might have sung along with it a couple times. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? No.
No, is that the song that's... I thought like Wayne's World sang that song.
Yeah, Wayne's World does it, and that's actually the only time I've ever heard it.
Yeah, I thought like
just
they
made
were the
such
ones
a lasting
that made
impression.
It. I thought it was,
that's the Mike Myers song.
Exactly. I thought Mike Myers made it.
I already played the Salt and Pepper, so let's just get Kyle's number 2 out of the way real quick. And then I'll talk about my number 1.
Okay. Let's get out
I already pushed it. So Kyle, what's your number 2?
I hate this. All right. My number 2 is Pink Floyd.
Oh, fuck off. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, you're good.
Fuck off.
You're fine. Sorry.
It's a little. I don't know. It's a little 26-minute song called "Shine On You, Crazy Diamond."
Oh yeah, like 15-parter.
Yeah, 16-parter of Volume 1.
Sounds like a good
God
nap.
damn. Man, dude, yeah, you're wrong. I mean, 26 minutes is a good nap, but not during the song. That's actually the perfect nap. You can get up right at 26 minutes. Anyways, man, what a fucking. I was talking to JD about this song earlier or whatever, and I don't mean to like excuse its length or whatever, but like I think every moment of it, every time it goes off on something, every tangent it goes off onto or whatever, and then kind of works its way back to the original kind of melody, if you will.
Right.
It's meaningful, and I all 26 minutes, while some are more uplifting than others, it's I don't know. You don't remember it like later, but as you're listening to it, you're just like, yes, this is that part or whatever. It's like it's just every single part's really memorable or whatever. I don't know. I really adore this song. It's on I think it's on the Wish You Were Here.
Yeah,
album?
it's Wish You Were Here. It's broken up into 2. It splits the album.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
Bookends them.
Yeah.
Bookends them. Yeah.
Bookends.
Parts 1
There you
through
go.
4, or like and then 4 through 9 or whatever. I think it's 9 parts or whatever. I forget, but it's 17 parts, whatever it is.
Quite a bit. It's quite a bit.
It's quite a bit. It's
Quite a
large.
bit in there.
Yeah, it's bigger than a pound.
I believe we wrote this song in 9 parts originally.
That's my David Gilmour impression.
It's like, yeah,
So he already is half asleep. Got it.
Fuck you, man.
God.
I fall asleep to that stuff. It's so like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm in a different world most of the time that I'm ever listening to the Floyd. But yeah, I mean, I've never.
I'm just here to make people angry. That's what I do.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
Yeah, you did it.
Fine.
You-
I'm okay.
you did it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just I really like that Pink Floyd or whatever, and I used to kind of feel the way that Jeff felt. I really did, seriously, for the
Really?
longest time, not too long ago, where I'm just like, don't get it, not into that, very slow, no thanks. But like getting into more modern day progressive rock and people going like, oh yeah, you really like that song? I'm like, yeah, dude, I love that song. Yeah, it's a fucking Pink Floyd song. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cover, man. That's a Pink Floyd song. Excuse me? Like, yeah, almost verbatim. Like, they almost didn't change anything either. It's like, they didn't even change anything? That's just a Pink Floyd song? They just sang it exactly the same? Yeah, people respect it too much to change it. okay. And then I started, like, I kept on hearing that too much with every band. Like, every single band, like, kind of pays homage to what I would consider the fathers of progressive rock, the fathers of, like, this idea that, like, guys, don't stick to it, you know, just go somewhere else and, you know, do something and then sweep back to, like, the thing that you're trying to tell, that melody, that like, through melody, if you can, you know, if you will. But then, like, don't be afraid to just, like, do something else for a bit and then come right back to it or whatever. You know, like they just invented a lot of that, just like callbacks and blend-ins, and you know, you come in real strong with a guitar with one instrument, and then maybe later in the song you come in with that same exact melody, but now with a saxophone or something like that, with which "Shine On You Crazy Diamond" does. I fucking love it when saxophone is almost in any prog rock, and I don't know if they invented that, but like, man, it's dating back to like the early '70s here, where they're fucking wailing on, or you know, even is that right? Or the late 60s, early 70s? Anyways,
early 70s, yeah.
Yeah, early 70s, with just bringing in saxophones and all these other instruments that just don't belong in, like, rock, all in these songs. And, like, man, they created that. And I'm, like, experiencing that stuff now. Like, we're still living in that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's way more complex now. You know, like, there's a lot more going on to keep you engaged and stuff like that now with modern-day prog rock. But, like, you know, they kind of started it all, you know, and that's people had to again point that out to me, and I was like, oh, really? And I'd go back and listen to them. These are new finds for me, you know, and I've injected their entire discography for like an entire year. It was almost like the only thing I listened to.
Do you know those sax notes? It's fucking David Gilmour. It's fucking him.
Of course it is.
Yeah, he plays that shit.
Oh, get out of here! Yeah.
No, yeah. If you watch the Pulse, is their 1995 concert where everybody but Roger Waters came back. It was before Richard Wright died. It's one of the best live albums I've ever heard. Because I think like their early shit, like Gilmour hadn't really come into his voice yet. A little bit. It was a little higher in timbre than what it evolved into. And man, they play every hit song. It's like, I think almost 30. It's like 24 total tracks on 2 discs. Fucking love it. Shine On You Crazy.
BT Dubs, "Welcome to the Machine" is the song that kept on being sang by so many of my like favorite prog rock bands. Like, man, everyone keeps singing this song exactly the same. It's so weird. Yeah, it's because it's a Pink Floyd song. Oh, okay, cool. Interesting.
Welcome, my son.
I'm gonna have to backtrack a little bit. I just totally realized I totally left out a band that is very influential in this genre.
Yeah.
So my new number 10, just because it's easy to plug it in there, is the Beach Boys' "Good Vibrations." My bad.
Okay.
My
like
fucking big time bad.
I believe you.
I love
Did you
Beach
guys
Boys.
put any Beach Boys in your honorable mentions?
I did not.
I totally have a long list of honorable mentions, and I will disclose them as you guys do.
It's really, really long. Just trust me.
It's so long, and that one was on it.
Honestly, I'd probably end up putting this in the middle of my list. But I just wanted to mention them before my number 1, because of the way that this song was composed, and this is very like experimental pop music as it gets. Like, this is a very poppy song by today's standards when you listen to it, because you hear this in a lot of current music. But back then, nobody was doing shit like this, where it was just like a guitar part and an organ singing the verse. And beautiful voice, of course. I've seen the biopic, Love and Mercy, starring John Cusack and Paul Dano.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to see that. You were talking that up not so long ago.
It's really good, man. And seeing how frenetic and not off-putting, but like he's just so ahead of his time in terms of what he wanted to record. Like he wanted things to clash, sounds to clash in a certain way that made the producer go, "You're out of your fucking mind." But then it ended up making for a better product at the end of the day, because he knew what he wanted. Like he wrote every part, and he would like pause. He would pause a recording to tell like somebody playing the cello, like, you gotta hit it. You gotta hit the note this way. Like, he knew every little intricacy in everything that he wrote, Brian Wilson. So like, it's just, man, I missed an opportunity to bring this shit up. I feel really bad right now. It would be just reorganizing this list. It should just take too much time. It would probably be like 6 or 5 or some shit. But "Good Vibrations" I think is a good song. And
oh yeah,
it's fucking great, man. It's so experimental. And I don't know what the fuck that whistle thing is in the middle there, but it's great. It's so cool and so not. in anything you hear from this era. It's crazy. Anyway, my number one is Bohemian Rhapsody because it should be everybody's number one. What the fuck's happening right now? And that's Lifetime. Hey, but hey, JD has it at number 2, so he could take a nap at number 1.
Liar.
Good for you, though. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
No, but really, you put it at number 2, and that's what matters. That's respect. You put some respect on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like it's one of the greatest songs ever made. So whatever.
I can't fathom somebody putting pen to paper and writing this song. It just doesn't add up to me. This isn't a song that comes from a human being.
Like lyrically and musically, I think it both kind of fits that category. You're like, wait, how? What?
It's like it's 4 or 5 different songs at one time, but it flows so naturally that you don't even question it, and how much it jumps all over the place. It just because it flows so perfectly.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And it's really funny to me that like Freddie Mercury, he kind of pulled a David Lynch on this song. And released this weird as fuck song that critics at the time were like, this is garbage. What is this? And then it, of course, became popular in later years, and now is recognized as one of the greatest rock songs ever made, et cetera, et cetera. But it was just one of those songs that he was asked about when it came out, and he's like, it's just about relationships. Don't worry about it. Like that's all he would say. So this song is pretty much about whatever you want it to be about. It's and there's a lot of theories that have been assigned to it, and I think Brian May, the guitarist of Queen, has said like this is Freddie had a really strange way of dealing with personal issues, and he had a lot of them, obviously, in terms of like his sexuality and his own close relationships, and it came out in strange ways. Obviously, if you heard all the mama killed a man type shit, you're like, what happened now? It's all over the place, and I just love this song for that reason. It's really strange for this band, in my opinion, to release such a I feel like this is progressive rock in a way, because it's jumping all over the place and it's unpredictable.
Yes. Absolutely.
And all their other songs, I wouldn't really describe that. I wouldn't describe Somebody to Love that way. That's like a ballad. That's a fucking power ballad. That would have been my other choice, by the way, if I had to pick a Queen song, is Somebody to Love, because that song is just gorgeous. I wouldn't describe their other songs as like they jump styles though. They do kind of cross certain because We Will Rock You is just what is it? Clapping and stomping and shit.
Doom, doom, doom.
That's the entire song.
That's it. Yeah.
That's crazy, and it's the same band that did. I'm like grasping the straws for their songs, even though I know all their fucking songs. Fat Bottom Girls. There you go.
Bicycle.
This was also the best song on otherwise. It doesn't have a lot of their hits on it. This album.
Yeah.
A Night at the Opera. It's got a lot of songs I don't really recognize.
So many songs because this is the same band that did Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Like this is the same band that did I Want to Break Free, which I forget is a Queen song because
I like You're My Best Friend. That's a good little
You're My Best Friend.
Like a little uppity song, yeah.
And there's what's the one about Vision? Something about Vision. Oh shit! What's One
know,
Vision?
Man.
I know that like. You hear the title and you're like, what? And then you listen to it and you're like, fucking, I know that song. That's Queen. They have an endless catalog of songs. They're like the Beatles of classic rock, in my opinion. And I know that Beatles are the Beatles of classic rock, but not really to me. You know what I mean? Because they started before all this stuff, and then they kind of evolved with it.
Sure.
Queen just has a more varied catalog, like where each song is so fucking different from another one. Radio Gaga, like it's just. What?
I love that song.
It's just crazy, their catalog. I ended up going with the most obvious one just because it's so goddamn epic, and even to date, like I feel new things when I hear that song, like every time I hear it, and it's crazy because I've heard that song. I've heard that song so many goddamn times, like probably the most out of all these songs.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to be able to still feel something from it after all these years. Man. That's my number one, and that's the only number one that matters. So goodbye, you guys. Bye.
Okay.
JD, what's your number one?
Oh, I want to talk more about yours.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have it in your number one.
I fucking like this song a lot. Now, I was just looking through the vinyl jacket of it. This was another one that was in that box with Led Zeppelin 4 for my aunt and uncle. Like, what a fucking day I had. It's also got the one with, like, the other Queen album. I think it's got We Will Rock You on it. I'm reaching for it now. Whatever. Dude, like talk about just random like karaoke. Like people generally don't have the balls to take this song on in karaoke. And I did it with a random group of people, and we each kind of were like, okay, you take this part, you take this part. It was destined to fail, and we fucking knocked it out of the park. Like, I'm just gonna say it. And that's not jaded or beer goggled at all. Like, we were drunk, but we fucking rocked it. And yeah, dude, that song, I fucking love it.
Totally beer goggled.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't saying that facetiously at all. Like in my head, I'm Freddie Mercury, and somebody else is like, that guy sounds like a dying cat. So just agree to disagree, but whatever. Yeah, my number one, since you asked, is a little another Pink Floyd, little ditty by Pink Floyd. It's called "Time," and it's on "Dark Side of the Moon," which is. It's the start of it all. Even though it's literally not really where they started making music, they made like 4 or 5 albums before that one.
Everybody made music really fast.
Yeah,
what happened?
Dude. The 70s, they put out Dark Side, they put out Animals, then it was Wish You Were Here, then Animals, and then The Wall. That's an epic fucking decade. Especially The Wall, too. Like, even though that's kind of Roger Waters' baby, that's really like I think that was their first true concept album. Really, I mean, they had the progressive elements and everything on Dark Side, but it's very, I don't know, it's rooted in simplicity. And I see what you're saying, Jeff, but, I'm going to go ahead and take it that you have narcolepsy and that the music helped you sleep. And so it's a positive thing. So it's a compliment. Yep. That's the only way I know how to take that. Cause otherwise I would just be offended and that would just be wrong. But Time is good, man. I like the lyrics. It's very like, I mean, let's just be honest. Pink Floyd is stoner music. I don't think anybody associates it with anything else.
Hey, you can like enjoy it and not be a stoner or whatever.
I mean, right? But also, it syncs up to The Wizard of Oz, and I've been high out of my mind and watched that multiple times, and it does. For those of you that haven't ever done it, fucking works. Yeah, man. I mean, when you just kind of like sit back and chill and just take it all in, it's really easy to just sit back and lose yourself in that album.
In the music, the moment.
In the moment, you never ever let it go.
You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, but yeah, man, Time is one of the more memorable songs on that album for me. It peaks and it's the way the solo just kind of soars and everything. That's the root of all the genius that Gilmour can put out there. And you know what? I get it. It's not for everybody, but. It's like Kyle brought up, they are the fathers of prog rock. So if you still listen to that genre at all, this is where it's all rooted from, is these guys here.
Like all that time, like any time that you're like, man, I really like it when like Mars Volta goes off on like a and just sits there and just like every once in a while like plucks the guitar and someone will do a different instrument or whatever. Yeah, they fucking started that.
Yep. And I mean, they have a random song stuck in this album with it's just piano and not an opera singer, but like a very soulful singer, just singing over and over again, and it's beautiful. So it's just the way that they composed music to me. Yeah. Back then, I remember them saying when they went into Abbey Road to record that they found out that they could actually record in quadraphonic sound, so they could actually manipulate like what speaker the track was going to be coming out of, and that was the first time that they'd ever done that, and it totally changed their approach to the album. Like they're like, oh shit, we can do this. Like On the Run is a synth song to break up Speak to Me and Breathe and Time, which is like, I mean, those first 3 songs are they're, I don't know, the album to me, it's tough for me to listen to one song at a time. I have to listen to it start to finish. It's one of those.
That's
it's an
prog
experience
rock for you as well. Like the album itself is the experience, not it's not the singular song. So that's why like when you hear people talk about prog rock, you don't hear them talk about like, oh, I like this single. Like, no, you're talking about the album.
Right. I mean, and that's why like Money is the single, because it's really it fits in with the theme, but it's the most standalone song. It's okay. Murder.
I do like that song though. That one's actually
a good song.
That if I had room for an honorable mention from Pink Floyd, that would be in there, because that one just sounds unlike, rhythmically speaking, unlike most of the songs I've heard from them that are hits.
They've never done anything else in that tempo ever. I like the tie into Wizard of Oz, man. The Color of Money, that song kicks on right when the Wizard of Oz goes into color.
Oh, fuck off, really?
Have you seriously never done it, Jeff?
No.
Dude,
Come on, man.
dude, you do. You need to. It syncs. The album plays through 2 1/3 times, and there are lyrics that coincide with things going on the first time you hear it. Then they're coinciding with the second time, and then they feel totally different. Like when it says "home, home again," that's right when Dorothy wakes up. Like the moment that Dorothy wakes up at the end of the movie, and that's the third pass through the album.
It will blow your fucking mind how
it's
crazy
it's an
things sync up,
dude. Like the crystal softly spoken magic spell is like right as it's zooming into the crystal ball. The bells in On the Run kick in right as the Wicked Witch is shown, the lady that is the Wicked Witch in the real world. The bells kick on right as her character comes in right in the bike to come take Toto. God, I remember a lot about the Wizard of Oz because of this fucking album.
Yeah, thanks for drugs. I mean, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they definitely found a rhythm to the movie, and they made everything sync up with that. Like all the Munchkins when they're dancing, that's the dum dum da dum 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 dum, and they're dancing and like going in rhythm with the fucking song, and it'll just blow your mind.
It's pretty nuts that like every member of Pink Floyd has come out and been like, yeah, we didn't even mention the movie once when we were in production on this album.
No, that's bullshit. It's the biggest fucking lie. It's the biggest lie.
They had to have orchestrated it. And,
dude, it's too perfect. I'm sorry. They had to have. And unless, I mean, I don't know. I don't buy it. I think it's the biggest lie in the world. I think that's the biggest joke that they've ever played on the world is that they didn't actually mean to do it. I can't.
That's a weird thing to keep a secret about.
Yeah, it really is. But it's
man, people are still talking about that we actually went to the moon. We all know that was fake. So it's the same
Kubrick
thing.
Did that, dude?
Yeah, man, it's the same fucking thing, man. There's like a radiation belt that keeps us out away from the moon that we can't penetrate.
Yeah. Right.
Losers.
Right.
Sorry. Anyway, Kyle,
that's my Pink Floyd gush.
What's your number one?
My number one, you guys, I fucked up. I didn't put Queen on my list. I fucked up.
That's okay.
It was a complete oversight. We were even talking about it in the chat. I even have it typed on my page. That means it was ready to go up into my list after I picked a song, and it never happened. I could even
Maybe
text it to you guys.
Your entire honorable mentions is just Queen, all of Queen.
It's literally it says Queen, and it says Leonard Skinner, Freebird, no. Eagles, Hotel California, no. Those were the two. Like, if you choose those, come on, you guys.
Such a lonely place.
I love that song again, but just fucking no.
Place.
So I fucked up.
You guys that song for me too.
True.
Yeah, right. Same here. Yeah, well, not open mics, but just in general, just the radio and everything. You guys, what happened? Like, there's no Eric Clapton love? Like, you don't like Eric Clapton?
Yep.
That's
exactly right. Clapton? That's exactly why. Eric Clapton.
No, I'm just kidding. Makes me mad and sad and all the feelings right now.
I like 90s Eric Clapton better. Like, definitely. No, I'm kidding.
Would you hold my
I was about to say, I was like, with the bad stuff?
The one from Phenomenon?
Oh, that's not so bad. He wrote that song for his son who fell out of a window. You soulless
bad dad. Sorry, that's terrible.
I mean, let's get real. I mean, he wasn't there. Oh, you're right. You're not wrong. So, anyways, after slandering this man,
is it Cream?
Eric Clapton, Layla for me, man.
Oh,
this song,
okay.
Good call.
This song, man.
full band or acoustic?
Dude,
I love the acoustic.
Okay, that's the question right here. We're talking about rock, so I'm going the full, but the acoustic I probably listen to more, just because it's really subtle and he's like
so
really
good.
But man, the fucking the original is it's a rock and roll song, man.
Yeah.
Like whenever that electric guitar kicks in or whatever for the chorus, that this shit like rocks, man. It gets my blood flowing. It's another song that like my dad. This is my dad's favorite band is like Eric Clapton or singer or whatever. He loved Cream and everything as well. So he's just big into all that stuff or whatever. And this song, this is another song that he just played all the time or whatever. And it's a song I still play all the time. It was a song even in high school when we were making like mixtapes for like your CD player for like cruising around on Fridays or date night or whatever, the song was always on every single one of those because I felt culture because it was an older song. Like, oh, my dad listens to this, like I'm gonna sink that song in there. I've always loved this song, and again, it just rocks. And man, just Eric Clapton's great. And at the very end, when it transitions into all the piano and everything, and it just plays itself out, it's just it's really beautiful. It goes from something really kind of heavy and crazy. And this song is about him being in love with his best friend's wife. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this song, and that's real. That stuff really happened. He was in love. I forget who his best friend was, but yeah, he was in love with his best friend's wife, and that's what the song's all about. And it's fucking rad, dude. The whole story is rad, the whole song is rad, and I love it. Reminds me of my childhood. Reminds me of life. I don't know. That's crazy.
There's a cover that Jimi Hendrix did of "Sunshine of Your Love," and it's sped up and super fucking fast and impressive. It's insane. Yeah. Great song. And
it's funny because he does the better version of that song, and Eric Clapton does the better version of "I Shot the Sheriff." In my opinion, I know that's fucking sacrilegious to a lot of people or whatever. So I like how they have better versions of their own of each other's songs or whatever.
Isn't that Bob Marley? You racist.
Well, no, what did I say?
It is Bob Marley. You said Hendrix.
Did I say Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I had too much wine. No.
Racist.
I've had too much wine.
I've never... talk about sacrilegious. I'll take the heat, because I've never really gotten into Bob Marley. I like 2 of his songs, and then the rest of them just kind of sound the same to me, and I just can't get into it.
No.
The man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sure. No Woman, No Cry, man. That's,
Yeah, Ion, it's Ion.
Anyway, I have 20 honorable mentions, some of which we already talked about. Black Sabbath, War Pigs is one of them. Elton John, Tiny Dancer, specifically because of Almost Famous. Free, All Right Now, is a great song. One-hit wonder.
Right now.
Baby, all
right now.
Sure.
More Beatles songs. John Lennon, Imagine.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a fucking
covered by everybody in the world ever.
I know, but those lyrics are
that's
still
how
fucking good.
That's not a slight to that song. It's good. That's how impactful it is. Everyone's I want
to
do that one.
Paul McCartney and Wings. I went with Live and Let Die because I just love the instrumental.
Ooh, that's such a good song.
Hell yeah, great song.
Simon and Garfunkel, Sound of Silence, because it makes me sad.
Sure.
Oh, man,
yeah.
I totally overlooked them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a terrible person.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been a better number 10.
Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
It's a good song, man. Fly Like an Eagle from Steve Miller Band is the one I went with. I know people like the Joker more or whatever.
Yeah, the Joker's an odd man for me.
Take the Money and Run is a good one too. But
Joker.
I love the vibe of Fly Like an Eagle. Talk about trippy as fuck, man. The synth in that song goes all over it goes all over the place, man. I can imagine taking drugs to that and going to the desert and just fucking the cacti.
Yeah.
Fucking the cacti. Don't. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Do that, Jeff. You do that. You let me know how that goes for you.
And The Who, Won't Get Fooled Again. Sure, it's long, but I love Keith Moon. Anytime I get to hear Keith Moon just play drums is bananas. That dude. It was clear he was on borrowed time when you saw him watch him play drums, because Jesus Christ, calm down, kid. That dude did so much drugs, but so influential in his own way. And I remember a story about The Who, Keith Moon was totally out of commission for a gig. He just passed out mid-gig, and The Who pulled some audience member that knew all the shit and brought him on stage.
That's like rock star shit, man.
And
awesome.
He fucking knew all of it. But yeah, Won't Get Fooled Again is cool. And I don't care that the song is 18 minutes long and it's just mostly organ shit. I love that part. It's cool. It's cool. I got some good feelings on that one. And Do You Feel Like We Do? 17-minute song, the live version especially. Peter Frampton. That's where he does the whole talk box thing. Wow, 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 wow.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Farhampton?
Peter Farhampton. Where I Met Your Mother. And that's all I got. You guys have any?
Free Bird.
Oh, God damn.
Mine's Free Bird and the Leonard Skinner one.
Yeah. Simple.
I did put-
Man. Sorry.
I did put Lagrange on my on men's because I like that song. It's
How?
I don't know.
It's unfortunate that some of their later stuff was like the stuff I remember the most. Like, Give Me All Your Lovin'. Give Me All Your Lovin's like, what, late 80s, early 90s? And I love that fucking song. Because it's so lame, but it's got such a good like beat to it and everything. It's ZZ Top, man. It's fucking...
I learned about ZZ Top from Sesame Street, so good on you, PBS, for
good job
putting the Bearded Wonders on some psychedelic learning show. That was fun.
Pretty psychedelic, that learning show. That learning show.
There you go, Tars. Turn that psychedelic levels.
Psychedelic to about 70%.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Tars, you look like a cat.
Tars. All right, so that's all we got for this episode. Next week, oh hell yeah, Stone Cold's gonna come to the show, and he's gonna talk about his top wrestlers of all time.
So you're gonna do your whole list?
We're doing that? Cold? Oh my god, I haven't done my
funny,
list.
Right? Fucking King Kong Bundy, you got fucking Luthez. Just naming all these old wrestlers.
You'd have to get into his head, and like, okay, so who was going around when he was in his?
I know, right?
Junkyard
Dog, fucking Randy Savage. That's how I imagine his top 10 list going.
Do Stone Cold doing a Randy Macho Man Savage impression?
No, that's too layered. I can barely do the match.
Yo, one more deep. One more character deep.
It's too. You want me to Inception an impression? It's just.
Hey, I just thought I would throw it out there and see if it stuck. So whatever.
But for real, I'm going to write a list of Stone Cold, and I'll just have him.
There you go.
Funny.
If you do that, I will lose my shit.
And then at the top, of course, we got fucking Wendy McIntyre, women's champion. I'm just making shit up.
Vince McMahon. Oh, hell no. I would never choose him.
Wait, that's not Wendy McIntyre. Wendy Richter is who I'm thinking of. My bad. Sorry. I'm supposed to be a fucking like Wikipedia of wrestling stuff, and I fucked up. Anyway, that's going to be a really fun episode. I know you guys are educated on your older wrestlers, which are the ones that are going to be in my list too, so it's totally understandable.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have anybody in there from the current era.
I'm glad to see that my 20 years of absence have garnered no new good wrestlers.
Yeah.
What am I going to put in there? John
Pick
Cena?
up
Fuck
right
off.
where I left off.
The best thing John Cena did was Trainwreck. So what am I going to say? Like,
apparently it's blockers. All right, get it right.
Oh yeah, butt chugging.
Yeah. Let's go see it, guys. Come on.
You know what? I'm kind of feeling like I should see that movie. I was so high pitched it wouldn't come out. I feel like we should see that movie, guys.
I think you guys should go see it. Yeah, I think you guys should go see it though. Seriously, like you guys,
man.
not me.
Yeah.
The reviews
No,
are not
maybe.
stopping, and they're still positive. So I guess
the
I'm gonna
fuck?
see
I think you guys should go see it because it'll be funnier to see it with somebody, and then you let me know how it is.
Oh,
Did
man.
you just like set us up on a mandate?
No, not really a mandate. More of a like, hey, 2 out of 3 people on the podcast saw it, so I don't really have to fucking pull any weight. So.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right.
You're
I
pretty
gotcha.
much blocking yourself. Blockers.
I still need somebody to for that 2 out of 3 logic. Somebody's got to go see Tomb Raider, so get on that shit, please. I don't want to be alone in my misery on that
Stay
one.
tuned for that episode, and then after that, I think we're going to do 1998 games. Which, no, I'm sorry, no, yes, that's right, 1998 games. And there is an obvious winner that year. I think it's Ocarina of Time.
That.
So
What? Hold on, is that the Legend of who?
Legend of what?
What's that one? Legend of Epona. Right, sorry. Nailed it.
Legend of Link.
That horse game. Yeah, Legend of Link.
I hate everything that's happening right now.
Half-Life came out though, so I don't know. Metal Gear Solid was the first one in 1998. So there's some titles to talk about.
Oh, then I'm sorry,
game?
dude. It isn't going to be Ocarina of Time if it's Metal Gear's year.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, get the fuck out with that.
The most influential games of all time, and will not get #1 that year.
Oh man.
Yeah, sorry.
Turok 2. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Turok 2 is
2.
a strong #4. I don't know. I'd have to look at my list. I have no idea.
Yeah, my list is shit. I don't even know if I have honorable mentions. We'll probably have to do a mini tournament, to be honest.
Banjo-Kazooie. All right.
Nah, you won't.
Resident Evil 2. All right.
Yep. Yeah.
Tomb Raider
Yeah.
3.
2 is amazing. 2 might be the best.
Bust a
Star
Groove.
Wars Rogue Squadron. That was a fun fucking
Fuck off.
game.
That game is so good.
The
Yeah.
first Rainbow Six came out. That game was dope.
Wow. Yeah, that's super. Okay. Yeah, it's a good year.
Yeah.
Good year.
The
Good year.
N64 one that we played all the time.
Pyro the Dragon.
I know all of us played that shit.
Yeah.
But that's what's going to come after that, and we're still going to keep it up with the variety in terms of like it's not all going to be movies, but then there's going to be like 3 weeks worth of movie stuff. So stay tuned for all that, and you can find the show on Twitter at EoC Pod. You can't find fucking me on Twitter because I'm tired of that shit.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit. I quit.
Quit, Mr. White.
Here he goes to write his song all alone in his principles.
That's my favorite throwaway line in that whole fucking movie. Like, what the fuck?
Captain Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters.
There was this one time where we stayed up way past our bedtime, and then he just stopped talking. That's the
I
story.
love that fucking movie. Can't wait for Kyle to see it. Because we're going to do music movies this year, but it's going to be like October.
What movie?
or some
Oh
shit.
yeah.
That
Dude, that
thing you
could have
do.
been on your. That could have been on your 10
I'm
oversights.
never gonna watch that. So.
Dude.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Come on.
Yeah, you'll love the
that'd
shit
be
out of
fun.
Hey, brah, it's
Yeah,
good.
I'm sure I will.
It's good.
I've heard nothing but
Tom
you know,
Hanks,
things
man.
about it.
Tom Hanks.
Thomathan Hanks is in it.
Oh, is he in that?
Yeah, he's in it, and I believe he was instrumental in creating it too. So
And Spartacus ends up getting the girl in La La Land anyway, so good for him. Spartacus. She just hangs up on him. Charlize Theron, that bitch. All
yeah,
right.
fucking bitch. All day at the dentist.
All right. Yeah, I already mentioned EoC Pod. Go follow us. Oh, yeah, Letterboxd. And, of course, on iTunes, leave a fucking review, goddammit. And I'm sorry for getting vulgar and, like, aggressive, but please leave us a review.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like, can I just pile on real quick for a second? Can you guys fucking review or?
Yeah.
Like, what's fucking
literally
going on
just,
here?
like, one sentence, even if it's, like,
Yeah, you
fuck
can.
these guys.
It's a thing. It exists.
Yeah.
We'll take that. That's good.
YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud. We're on those places too. And Kyle is he actually does stuff. And you're going to a convention, right?
Yeah.
You sound ecstatic.
Yeah, you know, I thought I was getting out of dressing up to go there.
Oh, God.
You know, and then you know, because I was like, I'm not gonna pay money for a costume that I don't own or whatever. And then someone was just like, hey man, you have a Fallout like you know, like their jumpsuits that they wear in Fallout, the blue ones.
Oh, nice.
I've got a onesie, like a pajama onesie of that, and I'm literally just gonna wear that all weekend.
Got a pit boy?
No, I don't. I wish I did. Yeah, no, I don't. Maybe I should make one out of cardboard. Anyways, maybe we'll get there. But yeah, so I'm just gonna wear that. So I'm gonna wear my pajamas the entire weekend, and that's gonna be awesome. So
That
it
is
actually went
brilliant.
from like, oh, now I have to wear a costume to like, no, I'm getting to wear my fucking pajamas. Which I don't wear Fallout onesies. I bought them strictly for like a gag or whatever. You know,
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
You don't believe
God,
like, I don't buy that. I don't think it's crazy.
Goddamn genius. All right. And JD is doing butt doctor stuff. So
Yeah, I've got butt doctor surgeries lined up for the rest of the week. So yeah,
awesome. I am.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to. We're also probably going to plug in a mini review of Ready Player One.
RP1.
RP1. So stay tuned for that as well. And that's
We're all
we
seeing
got.
that on opening night, right?
Yeah, I know we are, right? We're seeing it together.
I bought my tickets opening night at 7:00. I will be able to converse with you guys after we are all
okay.
allowed out of the theater.
Did you buy?
I guess you're all thinking at 8, right?
Did you buy a ticket for? Because it opens strangely on a Thursday. I don't know why. Did you buy a ticket for Wednesday night?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty
cool.
sure.
Because that's the first time you can see it is Wednesday night for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't think I did. I think I did buy for Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Oh well.
There you
That's
go, buy it for Wednesday.
That's normal. That's the normal day. Yeah, we're seeing it Wednesday, brah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I
I'm
didn't even
F
think to
out.
look.
We can wait. You can wait. Obviously, it's fine. It's one day.
No, y'all guys are going to be talking about it, and like if
Oh.
it sucks, y'all are going to like suck all the fun out of it.
It's gonna be like Star Wars, where like you just had to like, I had to just like hide in a corner all day.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe
That was
that's
terrible.
That sounds miserable. All right. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Goodbye. Anyway, the wind blows. Got to reference my song last. My song goes last. My song is referenced last, not yours. Whatever your obscure number ones were.
Dude, you got me on my knees right now, okay?
Mama, just kill
Kill this
the band.
podcast. Goodbye.